Okay, I think we're live. Everything seems to be working reasonably well, which is good. So, good evening. Happy Saturdays. Hopefully you're all well. Stream might actually even feature webcam in a second. Ooh. I know, right? That is shocking. Just checking one last thing before I do. Also, a slight warning. I'm also doing this stream as a tiny bit of tech testing. I'm going to admit offhand. We're doing a bit of streaming on my own via my own channel, and I was doing a lot of it last night, and there was some intermittent issues. So I kind of need to do something on this side of things to see if it repeats. So we'll see how things develop. If there are any issues like cutouts and such, then I will apologize in advance. But I don't know if it's the internet or just my software. We'll see. Anyways, with that being done, good evening and welcome. Hopefully you are fairly well. We're alright. It's been busy, truth be told, obviously with the competition going on, the Imperium Cup and such. We're on to the knockout games now. And the second round games have even just started. We've had the first one happen. I didn't get around to catching it. But we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to have a look at the new scripted ++ mod that came out a few days or so ago. We're going to have a little spin of it. I introduce it for folks who are not aware of it so far. It has changed some things, which has taken some adjusting. And we'll be going through that. And before we ask, yes, I was up nearly 3 in the morning last night streaming Control. And also, yes, I do need a haircut. So we'll get around that as we go. But yeah, I've had a bit of a spin of this. This is admittedly not the very first version. It's still a product that's changing as we go, and that's totally fine. But yeah, I think all things considered, once we got through a couple bits and pieces, I think it's definitely going to be for the best of it. There's a couple of changes I think that still need to be made a little bit, but we'll get there as we go. So we're going to get started on that in a moment. We'll also do a couple of games afterwards, just giving a little bit of a spin on the mod, but I do want to spend a short moment just kind of introducing folks to the mod itself. So just making sure something is working, which I think it is. Looks like it is. Good, very good. All right then. So, yes, the mod is linked in the description below, so I don't need to ping that out constantly. But yeah, this was released initially on like Tuesday or something like that. There was a couple of I was originally going to do a stream like this when it came out, but there was a couple of tweaks that I think needed to be made to the mod first before we did it, and I've allowed those to happen. So that's the thing. You can get an error when you try to play solo. There's a couple of reasons for that. I'll explain about that. So, okay, so this is the mod in total. Let's just get this out of the way. As you can see, this mod is built to work with both the 4-player and 6-player variant of the mod, which is pretty ambitious, all things considered. That's why these things are here, because there are 4 mining spaces. So you can see, like, Imperial Basin, you've got the Habanya Erg, or whatever the hell that's meant to sound like. But this is going to obviously mainly talk about the 4-player version of the mod, which is also available here. So we'll talk about that first. We've got our little handy-dandy mod here, which is useful. So let's have a look at what we've got here. Obviously, this is not particularly supporting a lot of the additions to the game, which is fine as far as I'm concerned, because I personally am not that interested. But for those of you that are, it'll probably take a bit of time to get that implementation in and working. Rise of X just doesn't do anything. It's unsupported. I imagine it just does nothing at this point. But that's fine. So, what we want to do is just make a quick 4-player hot seat just to quickly show you how little bits and pieces of this work. If you want to do like a solo game, you need to go to a solo hot seat, which is here. And this will bring up a variety of different options for you. These vary from playing with like the House of Guard deck, as you can see here, so hence the different difficulties in regards to that. You can also just do it by yourself. You can even do technically a hot seat for the team mode, though good luck with that. If you just want to do, like for this example, we're just going to go solo hot seat 4-player, and that should be totally fine. Again, I've not really played solo mode very much myself, so I can't really talk about that right now, but it's totally fine. There's also a couple of lever selection drafts available for you in choosing your games you can do anyways. Currently, you've just got random, reverse, hidden, pick, and the 4-3-1-2, which is currently being ported over from the previous mod from our time with XIMO. Now, I am aware that currently a 4-1-2-3 method is being trialed for picking for possible use, so that may or may not get implemented later on, but that's in trial mode at the moment. It's being experimented with, so I don't expect to see that right now. But we're just going to pick reverse pick for now, just for simplicity's sake. But you can play around with those. You can also randomize the player seating positions, which it will do. This was creating a bug previously. My understanding is that has been fixed, but we'll worry about that. The important thing I wanted to wait for, however, is that this option's here. Horizontal layout. So with the 6-player version, I'll talk about it in a second. So with the 6-player version, and initially for the board, all the hands are here at the sides, rather than being below normally, which I think is fine for some versions of what you're doing, but probably not fine for others. So there was a request to go to a more simpler style that we had previously, which I was waiting for, which is what that is. So we can now get this game set up, and as you will see, once we click it, it will do all the things for you, which is very nice. Shift it all down, make it all kind of work. All lovely and good. Should be noted that a lot of the components stay up here at the moment, which is something you've got to bear in mind, including the Sword Masters, which, you know, is a thing. But again, this mod's not even been out a week yet, so I think it's more about making sure it works properly, and then later on down the line, you know, tweaking the UI a bit to make it sort of all work. So this is what you're going to be seeing a lot of so far. This is the current presentation of the 4-player board. There's a lot more going on here than it looks at first. There's also some things that are different at first, but I think some of it are more things you just got to get adjusted to. So, let's take a look at the board itself. So, obviously we've got lots of decent sort of scans here, obviously high definition images for all the bits and pieces going on, you know, obviously the board, various cards and that. The actual player bats and your, I don't know, tableaus, whatever the hell you call them, are a little bit different. And we'll talk about that first. We go to over here. So some of it will look kind of familiar. Obviously, you've got your standard draw pile and discard pile. We'll just go ahead and just pick some random leaders here just to make it a little bit easier for demonstration purposes. So this is what it sort of looked like here as well. So let's go to our board and have a look at what is going on. What a hand, by the way. So this is what it sort of looks like. There's a lot of bits and pieces going on here. Some of it, again, looks fairly familiar. You have, you know, your standard draw pile, your leader, and your discard pile. Again, obviously, all with bits of scripting. Your resources up there, your various bits and pieces here as well. But it's this right side of the board, which is a little bit different, and it is still undergoing some changes. No bowls anymore. All your troops are sort of kept on this top side here, along with, like, your control markers. You've also got these persuasion and strength markers as well. So these things down here, your little things indicate your battle strength, are no longer interactable. This is all purely scripting. So, for example, if I was to put in, like, all my troops and obviously putting in on a combat, you know, that's all scripted. That's no change. But there's no more, like, adding in swords as such with a reveal. So, for example, if I've got, like, 2 daggers, for example, and I go ahead and reveal it all later on, it's no more, all right, I add 2 daggers, that sort of thing, or I use an intrigue for 5 and add it on. What you do is you use the markers here now. So if I was to reveal for, say, 2 daggers, I would put in 2, and it would put it at 2. And also, it would put a log here as well of doing that. It's the same for persuasion. Persuasion can be used to mark additional resources. For example, if I was to, let me just draw this quickly. So if I was to, give me a dagger, please. So if I was to go to a dagger, for example, and go to assembly hall just for temporarily, or add in the +1 persuasion, that sort of thing. And again, everything is logged. The logging's really good, very intensive. It takes everything that happens, which I think is pretty damn decent. So that is pretty darn nice. And of course, you've got other bits as well. This is where obviously you can display contracts that are on running. You've got a set here for completed contracts. So if you do like get hold of like a contract here and then you complete it, you can obviously whack it in. And it'll mark how many you've actually done, which is rather nice. Of course, if you ever need to check it, you can go ahead and do so. And that's nice. Same for the trash pile is similar. This is actually a bag, so you can just put those into there when you're done. And they're a little bit fiddly to get in sometimes, I find. I don't quite know. Sometimes it wants to go in, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know quite what that's about. But, you know, that's, you know, that is what it is. One thing that's also new as well is you've got these little things over here as well. So there are a variety of different objective points. Obviously, a lot of them are going to claim it as you go here. So as you get your friendships and your alliances, they'll go to your board. As you win combats and get sort of things for this, for example, you'll need to apply those manually. So, for example, if I was to get like a battle pair with the daggers, down the bottom of the board, you've actually got markers here representing the different types of conflicts. So, for example, I can go and take this. I can say, yep, I've got that pair. I've got one of those. You'll need to apply manual points here, however. So call it like objective VPs, for example. Put that on. Obviously, that'll add itself onto there as per normal. And you'll need to do that as well for like Spice Must Flows, that sort of thing as well. Stuff like Corinth and Junction Headquarters, that sort of thing. You know, and that's totally fine. No changes there. Don't ask me much about the 6-player components. I simply don't know. But yeah, so there's a lot of little things going on. UI-wise, there's a couple of changes that are still ongoing. There's a couple of things I think that can still do with being changed, but, you know, it's a work in progress. So let's talk about the actual board as a whole and what's going on. I've obviously played around this. Yeah, it's not too bad, is it, Murphy? You know, it's not too bad. How you doing, man? So, the board itself and how you deploy and actually do actions has changed a bit, as I've kind of already demonstrated. You no longer take your agent and put it somewhere and click a button. There's no, like, pay and get or deploy or whatever buttons. You'll notice the buttons now are all scripted directly into the spaces themselves, which is a little jarring at first, admittedly. It takes a little bit of adjusting to... You're going to see people all the time, they're going to, like, take the agent and go say, oh, wait, right, I don't need to take it, and they'll pull it back and play it. It's just something you're going to have to get used to. This isn't a bad thing by any stretch of imagination. I actually think it perhaps makes making things a bit more obvious. And a bit clearer to kind of work with what you're doing, and I think that's totally fine. So if we were to go, say, to, I don't know, FremKit, for example, well, we just click it, and it's got it all there. Draw one card, plus it from the Fremens. Doesn't tell you necessarily the space that you went to, sometimes, but, you know, you can kind of work out what's going on here. So obviously we draw that, that's all well and good. That can get trashed. Again, that is meant to operate as a bag. It's just getting it into the bag is, I don't know. It doesn't always seem to work for me. It's kind of, I don't know. It's a thing. Yeah, exactly. And it's a little strange for folks to do it this way, to click the space and without moving the agent, but I think it's totally fine in that way. There are a couple of things that you should bear in mind with doing this, though, if we move on. Let's put it in like a couple of troops, something. Because it's this combat, and of course you want to win this combat. Is that how it works? Ah, I see. I see, so it's a locked object, which is why it's not doing that. Okay, that's interesting. But it doesn't do it for the... Huh. That is most interesting. I didn't expect that would work. Well, thank you for that. It doesn't do it for those, interestingly, but whatever, I guess. Doesn't matter. As long as it can be worked, that's fine. I don't particularly care, so we can end that as well. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit different. It also plays again, also for other things as well. So obviously, like going to other spaces. If you take contracts, it's all clicking stuff. When you take cards off the row, it's all got these scripting boxes over them, which is nice. It just makes it a bit more easy to work with. It is a little bit tricky, I will say personally, as someone who will show stuff off, for example. So if I want to highlight Sardaukar Soldier, this is just for me, for example. If I was to highlight it over the box, it doesn't actually show anything, which is what it is. You know, it's not a big deal. It's just something that I've got to bear in mind with, but it's totally fine. Not everything is implemented at the moment. So, for example, if I was to want to go to like Hagar Basin, for example, well, at the moment it'll do that. But once it's maybe they've now they have got the hooks working now. Let me try this. You can take stuff back still, and you can obviously manually adjust this stuff. So if I was to go Hagar Basin, there we go. So now it does work. So if it registers you've got a hook, you can now choose whether you want to go taking the spice or the sandworm there, which is nice, and I appreciate that option being there. So that's all lovely and good. I highly doubt Technic. I highly doubt it. To be fair, there's the reason that this board and this mod was separated out from the base Dune Imperium mod that we run with is to prevent one affecting the other. I think it's totally fine. Even though this is obviously, some of the systems of this are different to how the other board works, I don't think it's a big deal. So I think it's totally fine. I don't expect the other one will change. Siege typo is also automated. Interesting. Will it? It won't. No, that's interesting. Is it not going to let me actually go there? I may have broke everything here. It might also not be letting me there because I haven't got the influence. So there could be some fun games here as well. Also, one thing to note as well with the influence tracks is you notice there's no more plus and minuses here. What you do now... Yeah, I was wondering, but if I've got, like, undercover assets, I wonder how that would work. Maybe you just give yourself the hook temporarily or something. I don't know. Anyways, so if you go to the faction spaces, rather than clicking up and down on these, you now click to the relevant influence that you get to. And again, it'll log it in there. So +2 influence of the Fremen. So if you gain like 3 of them, you can just gain all that and do it that sort of thing, which is nice, and I appreciate that. And of course, you can also go all the way back down. So, you know, again, it's just a little bit of tweaks and changes here and there, but on the whole, it's probably for the best, and that's totally fine. But yeah, like, I do like it. One thing I want a couple to say is that I think, like, this could probably do with being back up here, where we're kind of used to. Also, like, some of these components could probably do with being dragged down somewhat, but it's obviously all scripting. Maybe instead of, like, moving the boards into the center, you just move the bottom 2 boards up. So that these stay here, and then, I don't know, there's a couple ways of tweaking with it. It's not relevant to this conversation, but all things considered, I think it's pretty decent. One thing it's also worth noting as well, if I just go ahead and just end some turns here. So if I go and just reveal everything, can we just get this all done? There's no more the thing up there, which is worth noting, which is a little bit jarring, because it can be easy to miss if it's your action. There is these little highlighted things around your boards to denote who it is. I would suggest they probably could do being a little bit thicker, but you know, again, this is all not particularly important. So if we just do everyone's returns here, and that's all well and done. So again, you'll see there that the swords aren't immediately counted. You do need to add them manually, and that is worth noting. That's something that you've got to go ahead and do. So then we go to combat. Obviously, you still resolve it as per and normal and such like that. You play your intrigues, whatever else. Rewards are still taken manually because they kind of have to be, and that's totally fine. But the one thing that is worth noting, and pay attention specifically to green here, for example, as we press Maker's Recall, is that all the drawing and stuff is also done automatically. You don't have to do any of it. It's all done automatically for you. So if I press Maker's Recall, it'll draw everyone's hands here, but notice it needs the extra ones, so it will automatically do the reshuffle and then drawing again. Which is nice, I guess. I appreciate that, so you don't have to worry about that too much. I guess that's kind of cool. It also probably helps people, stopping them from... Some people have a habit, and I've been known to do it occasionally, of, like, drawing your next hand early. Well, if you do that, you're going to cause some issues with the scripting. So it's probably a nice way of being able to avoid that happening. Garrisons as well also work exactly the same as they do in Dune Imperium Digital, actually, by the way. You don't actually take your troops from here. These are all locked. If you want to get more troops in, you got to left-click your garrison. If you want to take troops away, you got to right-click your garrison. And you can see that via there as well, which is nice, and I appreciate it. I think it's actually a pretty good way of doing the system. And I do appreciate that. And obviously, you can just take them from there, put them in, do whatever you want. But yes, if you play Dune Imperium Digital, you're totally used to how this sort of thing works, and that's pretty cool. But that is the mod at the moment. Yeah, it's not bad. I like it. Again, there are a couple of things that are... You got to get used to changing a little bit, which is fine. I think some of it is more feature than bug. I will say that, you know, getting the hands back below is definitely superior. Originally, these were on the side, and it wasn't ideal. So I think this is, you know, pretty damn good going. It's taken a little while for them to get this out, definitely. But when you're building something that's on the ground up, it does take a lot of time indeed. And there'll be more tweaks to this to go through. Don't ask me about 6-player. I've not touched it. I have no idea what the 6-player is like at all. So go and investigate that on your own. But yeah, I think definitely it's taken a little while. There's a couple of things that perhaps could be tweaked here and there. And probably will be tweaked over the course of time, and that's totally fine. It's mainly just UI and making sure that, you know, it's not bugging. And I've not encountered many, really. there was an issue with like the randomizing I mentioned. There was a bug where like everyone that wasn't the host, when you randomized, couldn't see the board. I've been told that's been fixed. I don't admittedly know. But that's all well and good. Just a quick note up here as well. So yeah, your sword masters are up here. I believe you don't actually have to keep them there. If you want to bring them closer to the board, so people can see them. So if I'm playing as yellow here, for example, and I go sword master, does that still work? It might be that it doesn't work if you do that, huh? Or is the game just very upset at me because I've apparently broken everything? Okay, there we go. Oh, maybe it actually needs you to put a certain thing down. Okay, well, I'm going to try this. Let's bring this down here. Blue. Let end turn here. We're here to stress test, kids. Give me my sword master. No! Damn it. Okay, so it doesn't work. You have to have them up here in the general area. And then, yeah, it pulls it. So it's obviously, there's a set area here, which it's looking for the Swordmaster to pull them across. So if Asmodius is listening, what I would perhaps suggest doing is, rather than, personally speaking, moving the boards down, because I don't expect you to move all these components necessarily. That's a lot to do. But maybe you'd be happy to do that. Like, these need to be towards the board, and this probably could do it being up the top end. Maybe it's worth just shifting the boards up. So, like, these red ones stay, like, here, and the green ones still here. Just so everything's a bit more compact and near to each other. Because otherwise, like, if I'm streaming here and I've got this, it's pretty hard to see, oh, I've got to go all the way up here to see if there's Swordmaster. So that's just a minor thing, if you're listening. But other than that, I think it's looking pretty damn good. It's just taking a little bit of adjusting to, like, some things that are different to the previous mod. But I think it's looking in pretty good shape. So that's cool. I don't think it's not just getting the axes. I thought that, but I don't think it's looking for the cards. I mean, that's a bit beyond what the bot's trying to do. So if I was to go end turn here, there's a way to test it. Yeah, it's not looking for your cards at all. It doesn't care. You can have no cards down. That's totally fine. So yeah, basically, the one thing that is worth noting maybe is, like, obviously that's your discard pile. If you start stacking up a couple of these, I mean, just put them over here. It's fine. Just leave them wherever. It's not a big deal. It's a little tight here, but I think it's okay. I also think it's also kind of novel that your points counter goes up to 18, which is, you know, it's optimistic. If anyone manages to legitimately get an 18-point game, please send it to me, and you'll be my friend for life. Legitimately, mind you. And yeah, and obviously, so when you do acquire cards as well, obviously, as you'd expect here, you acquire it, it pulls the next one off immediately. You pull that off, it brings the next one down immediately, all that sort of thing. It's obviously going to check these cards here, so if you don't have the influence, it won't do it. It used to tell you don't have the influence, but it's all well and good. But yeah, do note as well that, like, if this is not paying attention to if it's a worm combat and whether you can or can't deploy worms because of the wall. So it's just not going to do that. You'll do that yourself. But yeah, that is the mod, in a bit of a nutshell. You know, I think it's pretty good, all things being honest. Just, yeah, a couple of things to get tweaked by. Just remember, like, there's some things you've got to add into your points here. And bear in mind, you know, stuff like, obviously, if you get junction, headquarters, and that sort of thing. But again, the logging's really good. So, you know, you can pretty much always make sure that what you're doing makes a degree of sense. And it's going to indicate a lot of spaces as well, going to, like, refinery. Stuff like that. Out of curiosity, if I was to end turn, if I don't have the spice, will it let me spend a spice here? No, it won't. It will say, you're an idiot. What the hell are you doing? Good. I like that. Nice to see some rigidity in the board. Super stuff. Okay, then. So, with that being done, I would suggest we'll probably get ourselves into a game, I guess. So, I don't know if one's going, but I guess we'll just make one. And we'll give this a spin in some live action. So, a couple of questions that were asked before I got into this. Let me go back up to this. Pick order we use for tourneys. I don't know, as I say, A 4123 method is being trialed in some circles as potentially use in the upcoming rank system. There is a belief that the third spot's pretty strong because of the way the combats works, and the game's very combat focused, that sort of thing, which is, you know, fine. So 4123 is being trialed. It should be noted as well that currently, if I reload the board here, for example, so I read this up. There's also currently no method of, like, making red player go first. That's just not been a priority for the people making the board. It's about getting UI. Obviously, there's no, like, integration with a database yet, and that can be set up and that can be worked on by the people who know far more about that than I do. But yes, like, randomized seat positions, something you can definitely do. I don't think I want to do it solo, though. That's probably gonna break everything, so I probably should not do that. But again, if you just want to do like a House of Gal here style, so if I go to Mentat, for example, I do that as a setup. So now you got the House of Gal deck here, which is yeah, so this is the House of Gal deck, and then obviously this has potential integration over, so you've obviously got, like, Fold Space Sensitive Breeding, which it obviously isn't, so that's a bit of an issue. The Rivals deck, I believe there is a mod around on the workshop. You can just literally load that and bring that in and do that. The Rivals deck's actually pretty good. I think the way it's designed is superior to the House Gadal deck, and I think that's a kind of a nice way of doing that. You also have the companion app for Dune Imperium, which I believe now has integration for Dune Uprising things as well. So you can go ahead, obviously, and mess around with that stuff as you so desire. But yeah, as far as, like, competition and what it's going to be, I don't know. It's too soon. Maybe in, like, 6 to 8 weeks, that decision can be looked at and maybe addressed. But for the time being, it's not a particular concern. What other questions was there? Yes, there's also French translation, which has been done by Murphy and So if you want to play some French, you can do. That is all being done and messed around with. Were any other questions that I missed? Yeah, exactly. I'm not too worried about that, and that's all well and good. But yeah, no, I think it's, like I say, I think the way it is pretty decent. There's a couple of things that I say. So for example, here, it might be worth, instead of maybe moving everything to the center, it might be worth perhaps better off just, like, if you're doing 4-player, get rid of these 2 boards and just shift these up so that everything is a lot closer to this. Maybe that might be a better way of doing it rather than centralizing or just to reduce the error count, the things here. But I definitely think that, like, this should be nearer the Imperium deck. The Imperium deck should probably be up here if you're going to have the leaders up here. I think that's fine. Also, the size of this board up here is, like, comical. It's absolutely insane. But it's, you know, it's totally fine. But yeah, I think that's the thing. A couple of UI little tweaks here and there just to make it a little bit more compact and all visible on a general screen. Especially for someone like me, for example, where once the screen's set, I don't want to mess about with it too much. And seeing information like everyone's sword masters is pretty damn important. So, like, if I'm down here looking at the board, I'm like, who's got a sword master? And then have to go up, all right, okay, that's that. It's a little bad thing. Anyways. So, let's get a game going here. We're going to try this out in some live form. And see how it works. But yeah, the fact you gotta, like, unlock the trash pile. It's interesting that works. Oh no, it's a little different, but it's not too bad. Only other thing I might throw out as maybe a potential something to play around with is maybe having the option to, like, pick your colors. You know, not with anything like rank sort of thing, but maybe, like, if player 2 wants to play with, like, the grey pieces, they play the grey pieces. No, it's TTS mod. We can do that sort of thing. But again, this is all stuff for down the line. It's not that important, so. But yeah, I think all in all, once we got through the first couple of tweaks, I think it's not too bad at all. So we are going to give the hidden pick system, we're going to give this a spin, which means we'll probably drop a couple of leaders. And we're going to give hidden picks a bit of a spin here and see what happens. So randomizing we're going to do. This, I think, just should be on at all times, basically. And whatnot as well. So we'll get this going, and then we'll have a spin of this. Do make sure that as you're selecting your seats for a 4-player game, don't take the 6-player seats, because, you know, that's not going to work. And it won't let you. If you don't pick it correctly, it will... The setup button just won't be available, so that's something you can expect. Give the familiar greetings. But yeah, basically, there is a thread up. It's pinned in a couple of sections. If you do encounter bugs, do report them. Like I reported the bug for the board not being visible. I think it was. I'm guessing it was like some kind of timing out issue or something. But I honestly don't particularly know. So, just waiting for whoever the last person is. Which I'm guessing is them. There we go. But yeah, so the persuasion stuff you could use 2 different ways. If you want to use it just for additional stuff, you can. You could also as well just, like, if I reveal 6 and I've already got the +1, just add up to 7 and just do it, like, all in all. Like, it's up to you. You can manipulate this as you desire, but you do have to add stuff via the strength thing. Okay, so let's give this a spin and let's see how this all works. So we'll randomize some seats here. And let's see if everything breaks. I don't know. I've not tried. My guess is it just won't let it. It just nothing happens. Is my assumption. Can everyone see the board? Just checking. Cool. Okay, so that was fixed. Okay then. So yeah. So let's have a look at some bits. Yeah, this is just like acres of space. It's kind of funny. I don't know. I've not tried that either. Immortality, I guess it just changes a couple of cards. You do your research stuff along. I can't profess to knowing. People in chat will probably know more. Okay, so let's have a little look at the game here. So we've got... Okay. So it's just general reverse pickings. So let's have our row here. So you see, like, you've got the row here, and then your leads are up there. It's not particularly ideal. Got a decent cards, both Truth Trances. Undercover Assets there as well. Wow, this is a cooked row. My god, it's good. Wow, there's a lot of strong cards here. Okay, so what have we got available? What's pretty been picked behind? What's missing? Staban's missing. Staban might well have been picked. And I could definitely see Staban getting picked here very quickly. I might take Irulan here, truthfully. Cut out a couple of bad cards. Make use of what we've got here. I think Irulan's fine. Yeah. I think it's fine. Might also be Gurney up there, but I think if Staban was there, I could definitely see Staban getting picked here, so... But everything seems to be working reasonably decently, which is fine. So, do we see Staban in 4th? Is Staban willing to sack an action off? Maybe. We'll see. Doesn't need to. Double Truthsayer on the opening row is very, very interesting. Charney's obviously really strong. But obviously better off with when you get some Fremen cards. Undercover Asset's pretty good. It was Margot. So no Gurney and no Staban. Alright, well, we'll give this a spin then. So yeah, I still don't... One thing I've got to get used to is where I'm going to put the camera. I think something like this is probably fine. But I'm up for... You know, people want to... Like this? Doesn't look too bad. I've not done this yet, so feel free to offer whatever suggestions you so desire. But this looks pretty reasonably decent here. You know, and if I need to see different things, it's fine. In a way, not having the boards off to the sides means you can kind of get in a little bit more. Maybe the central board could be done with being... I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's a lot... There's a lot of things to cram in not very much, so I think it's totally fine. But it is like, you know... things are still a little bit all over the joint in regards to this stuff, but I think all in all it's pretty fine. Okay, so let's have a look at the actual game here. So it is... We got Amber in 1st, Muad'Dib in 2nd. Okay. Okay, I can do it at another point. It might be that's what's happening. It's stuck in the previous version. I can do that. I could, but I don't really want to because this should be up there. So, but I did consider that. Okay, so opening hand is interesting. So the usual off to Fremkit. I don't know how Amber didn't put any troops in there. It's pretty strange. So the usual Fremen dive. Some things never change. Opening conflict is the Fopter one, so plenty of intrigues. Muad'Dib just sacking off his recon immediately is wild. So we'll see how we go here. Fopter's always interesting. The wards are decent. I think going, like, deliver supplies can't be bad. I've only got 3 persuasion, which is a bit tricky. I think deliver supplies can't be bad here. We'll just do this. But yeah, so at the moment, it just doesn't go in. But yeah, if we unlock it... That's really strange. I've never seen that on the board. It's really strange. It's pretty funny, though. So yeah, I do think, like, that's one of the things that's been a bit of a block for Uprising. Obviously, we've had to wait a while for this mod to come out. Obviously, all the rank stuff still occurs with the base game, with obviously XMO and that sort of thing as well. So that's why, you know, the transition's a bit gradual and that sort of thing. We'll see how that develops as time goes. I'm going to be put in an annoying position. I'm going to be put in a really annoying position. So, yeah, people just got used to just clicking stuff. There we go. But yeah, it is the only thing I would say is, like, some things are a bit hard to tell what they are. So that's a little bit thing. But again, there's a lot going on, so, you know. There's only limited space. Oh my god. Do I just early reveal for undercover asset here? What the hell has Muad'Dib got? I think Muad'Dib's going for it anyways. I think undercover asset is worth revealing. I haven't got a lot going on here. It's not a bad conflict. It's definitely not a bad conflict, but I feel like she's also early revealing. I think undercover asset's worth it more. Imperial privilege, siege access. I think revealing's better here. We're just going to go ahead and reveal and just take it. Call it a day. I think it's fine. Margot immediately espionaging. Wow, and just putting the spy on the front. That's pretty insane. So there's going to be a massive dive for Siege, which is pretty cooked. We won't be able to redraw it, though I do like Azirolan drawing first round if you don't get your ring, but I think given our situation, I think this is fine. Guild Spy comes off. Well, if Muad'Dib can't get that, and if Margot gets that, that's absolute catastrophe. Muad'Dib's going to have to go for it if you can get it. But yeah, I do think as well, like, you compare it to like what we had previously, the previous version of the board. Yeah, he's got 3. He has to go Guild Spy. He's got to deny that. Like, I do think it's a lot better on the presentation, obviously, and like kind of like so you can see kind of what's going on and stuff. So, yeah. So I think that helps. Yeah, Truth Trance, just gonna go for that. That's fine. So yeah, we'll take the undercover assets. This allows us to ignore board space requirements, which is pretty good. We didn't have much else going on here, so yeah, Muad'Dib's just gonna spy up here and crack on. Makes sense. Yeah, I know. We'll have to... Yeah, you've got to temporarily give yourself it to then go back, I guess, or whatever. Or sort it out yourself. Which is fine. And that can be done. You can always... You can always have manual abilities to just mess around with board spaces as need be, so, yeah. If you got to do it, it's what you got to do, so... Yeah. Muad'Dib's just going to spy up, you know, no shock there. Has Muad'Dib got 2 spy? Oh, yeah, he got Guild as well, didn't he? So, yeah. Bit of a shame to give that up cheaply, but I think undercover assets is worth it in the long run. Our hand was pretty naff. So we'll have to see what we want to do here. So the next question is, do I draw immediately or Well, Muad'Dib's going Fremkit, so, you know... I've got the interesting question if I want to bother going... I probably have to. I don't know. I mean, people are just putting them up there. I assume you probably need to, but I can't profess to knowing. So Muad'Dib with the usual spam. Siege of Arakeen. Wow, that's an insane conflict as well. I meant to just go deliver supplies, but I honestly am not going to. I'm going hard here. I think we go Arakeen and we try to pick up undercover assets. No, we don't. We want. I want to make sure I get undercover assets next round, basically. So I think we go Arakeen and we actually go for a spin here. Also, I wanted a 5th persuasion. That's going to be important for us. And I want to get involved in this conflict. I've got to... someone's got to get involved here. Oh, and trashing. Get rid of a dagger. Because people want to go Arakeen very heavily here. So I want to... Yeah, see, so you see Margot obviously is intending to go there. So it's a little bit risky doing this. Like, you're meant to just go deliver supplies. But I'm going to take a chance here. There's a lot of faction access. Greens use both their faction accesses. Yellows use both of their faction accesses. So unless Amber happens to respin, and if she does, she's probably just going Fremen anyways, we're probably fine to do this and not worry about going to deliver supplies. It's probably safe. And I think that's fine. And 5 persuasion's not bad here. There's a couple of decent cards. Just want to get that done. We'll work it out from there. I'm not too worried whether I win it specifically or not, but, you know. See how things play out. So Muad'Dib's obviously using his ring at Siege. That much is obvious. I might not even use the Diplo here. If he just chucks it in, I might actually legit just go Haga Basin. Okay, that tells a story. I've got Dune coming next round. Undercover assets is going to be used for Siege, so I don't have to go deliver supplies here. Because Siege gets me the water anyways. Dutiful could be really strong for us, actually. Because it gives us... oh, Dutiful. Oh, Dutiful's the way to go here. Because we're taking this. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, this is going to be nice. We're going to get some money from the conflict, and Siege will get us set up to Deep Desert, and then we cash that in. The one thing we could really do with is a spy, but, you know, that is where it is. Sorry, I'm kind of zoomed on my thing. So yes, it's just a little bit of just getting used to like where to perhaps put the camera. Especially if I've got like my thing. Like if I'm doing like a commentary and my camera's not on, that's not a big deal. But I'm trying not to zoom out too far away is the only thing. So that's a little bit of that's just something I've got to get used to. I've not really done very much of this yet so far. Truth be told, I don't think there's a lot of space to be saved either. Like on, like, say, the player boards, for example. I think it's already pretty compact, truth be told. So we'll see if Amber wants to win this or not. I imagine she's just going to go Haga Basin. Oh, she can't go Haga Basin. She used her water, didn't she? For Deep Desert. For Desert Tactics, even. So one thing you got to bear in mind as well with, like, Siege is, and it's a rule that people do forget, if you do go undercover assets, I see this all the time with undercover assets, if you do, she should put them both in, I think. She might not do. She might want the money more. Whatever she wants, I don't particularly care. So bear in mind, if you have undercover assets, you use that to get to Siege, for example, early, you can't keep going back to Siege without getting the influence. I see people do that all the time with like their signet rings. They'll go back to Siege to try and do that. But yeah, bear in mind that that's not how the rule works. Yeah, so notice that Amber wanted the money specifically, which is interesting. But I'm more than happy to, you know, Arakeen's a really valuable spot. Yep, 6 for Muad'Dib. He's definitely going to go Chani. Pretty obvious. We have 5. So we've got a choice of Southern Elders, which is a fun card. Junction I can't get. I can also just grab the Truthsayer. Truth Trance even. Southern Elders is a really good card, but it's only good if you've got the Throne or to Bene Gesserit to go with, which we don't. We don't really have. We're not going to have much synergy with that, so I think we just take the faction access and call it a day. Maybe there's a cheap one coster that also comes off. No, shame. Would like some fodder for our insight. So that tells you a story. Margot is going to absolutely bomb that alliance. If she can. So that's worth noting. We all probably have to stop Margot getting that alliance, because she's obviously going to go very heavy for that. If she feels she can. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to take the win. Like, you know, I get 2 less coins immediately, but I'm getting the troop back, and I'm getting a flag, and people are going at Arakeen pretty heavily here, so this is it's a good one to win. Unless Paul's got, like, a load of swords out of nowhere, which he might do. But he doesn't, so... Yeah. Very cool. We'll take Arakeen early. People underestimate the value of these city spaces, especially when Margot's in, so there's going to be more infiltration than normal. You can make a lot of money. Cool. Alright. So we're off to Siege. What do we pull alongside this? Wait. Convincing. Okay. Worth knowing. Spice Refinery's next. Still no worms. And we're not going to allow any worms, so... Let's go Siege. So we'll do this. So, water, troop, hook it. Put in 3 again. Cool. Yeah, this is where undercover assets is super cool. You know, letting you jump queues and such. It's a very, very strong card. Yep, so Margot obviously is going to go for this alliance. That's obvious. I may have to, like, absolutely bomb this. It's going to be difficult, though. No one else has access to the Deep Desert. I could potentially leave it, but might have to just do it for reasons. Yes, that's a good point. I didn't take the combat card. Thank you. I do forget to do this at time. Just whack those down there. Yep. So Amber will go get Swordmaster, which is fine. And I'm totally cool with doing this, because this sets us up for our Swordmaster once we... So now we pretty much have to go probably Deep Desert. But I don't know. We'll see what Paul Atreides does. Paul doesn't really want to go Haga Basin, though, because he needs the water. Interesting spot where we could consider going Haga Basin instead. And it kind of puts Margot in a bit of a tricky spot, potentially. But if she wants to get all the Deep Desert Spice, it's going to slow her down. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But this is the thing that's interesting, like, because of the situation. Where I wasn't too worried about the cash. Like, if Amber gets it and just gets Swordmaster first, like... there's no money in this conflict, and it's really hard for Muad'Dib to make any. So we're not in a bad spot here to pick it up. I just got to decide whether it's worth going Deep Desert for the extra spice, or if we go... Wow, that's pretty strong, isn't it? So, in come the worms. Wow, that's insane. Pull 1 intrigue, it's destroy the wall instantly. That is absolutely absurd, isn't it? That is crazy. Well, you can't do much about that. That's just, you know, whatever. This is why, like, the wall is, like, it's basically a question of when is it going to go. He has to go all in, that's fine. So we have to go deep desert now. Our hand is forced. And I think we put in the extra troop anyways. I think we charge the price for Muad'Dib. We can't let him have this for cheap. We can't let him have this for cheap. He's gotta pay for this. Also, winning it would be nice. But I'm not gonna let him have this for free. He's got to pay maximum price for this. It also means it's really hard for him to like make any money, which is also worth noting. Now, bear in mind, we do not yet have access to shipping outside of obviously undercover assets, so that would be nice. Is Margot really... Wow, Margot just barrels in as well. That's insane. So Margot's picked up a battle card, or she's got both her daggers, so that's pretty unlucky for us. So we're probably just going to get third here by the looks of it. Amber's going to have troops for next round. Yeah, I mean, if Margot decides to just barrel it, it's at there, then so be it. It's not a big deal. I can live with, if we get 2 spies, it's not ideal, but it's fine. Just is what it is. But we are going to get hold of, unless Muad'Dib flukes like a card, we're going to get hold of Swordmaster next round, so that's good. No one else can beat us to it. So Muad'Dib's digging for combat cards, right? I assume. One thing you got to bear in mind, though, that is a problem, is that you got to bear in mind, once you click the space, if you're going to do any spy stuff, technically, you need to do that spy stuff before you do anything else, so that is something that is worth noting. So, that's a thing. Free to buy. Reliable informants, not bad, but how often am I actually going to get to that space? I think the answer is pretty infrequently. I may have to just give it up. Could go Wheels. Wheels just pays for itself. And the factions I do want to go for. Yeah, we'll grab Wheels. I think that's fine. But we're not winning this conflict at all. So that's fine. Margot's got, yeah, she has at least 1 sword. She must have a battle intrigue, otherwise she wouldn't go in like that. Doesn't make any sense. She's got something behind, so we might finish second if we're fortunate. Maybe. Muad'Dib might tie us for it, though. We'll see what happens. So, unfortunately, we're kind of having to give up the Spacey Alliance to Margot here, which is not good. What can you do, though? Wow, Muad'Dib's going to get Bene Gesserit Operative. That's insane. So, Amber's looking good for next round. No one has any water, though, which is worth noting. This is a water-free zone. Margot's got hasn't used her Seek allies yet, so she has got so much spacing access. Yeah, it's just not worth us trying to get to that. It's not worth it at all. So, we'll just chillax. And just play next round as it is. Probably having to go to thingy first. Yeah, it does tie, that's what I figured. So, 2 spice it'll have to be, because Margot's going to win the conflict, I would imagine. Which isn't too bad. 8 spice gives us Sardaukar, potential Highliner early if we want to do that. We have got Diplo coming. Would be a way to re-garrison ourselves. Maybe Sardaukar's better for us. We'll see how things play out. If Muad'Dib flukes a battle intrigue, he flukes a battle intrigue. So, yeah, that's fine. There's a couple of really strong cards here. So there's obviously really good. Araka's Result turns up. That's, like, almost broken on Muad'Dib. Almost broken. Strike Fleet turns up. Look at these cards, man. This is absolutely ridiculous, this row. I assume red will win it. And then we'll move on next round. So we probably have to go Swordmaster right away. Had nothing either. So we're all tied. So we all get second place. Funny. That tells a story, doesn't it? You don't, Green. Green should also have drawn a troop with Amber's ability, but forgot. So, second place it is. So be it, I guess. Yeah, it's not bad. You know, there's a couple of things that I've got to get used to that change-wise, and now that the cards are below, I think the hands originally were at the side, and that just wasn't... It didn't really work, so... Not a bad hand. We pulled Distraction, which is not bad, and that might influence what happens here. Next up is Test of Loyalty. This could get interesting. Muad'Dib occasionally flukes an intrigue to get his Swordmaster first. If he does, then so be it. If he does that, I have a backup move anyways. We might end up using Distraction as well. Where would I put it, though? Oh, no, I'd just put it there, wouldn't I? Interesting. We'll see how this plays out. But we might have some interesting decisions to make here. Still always a pretty good one for us. We do have the Thought symbol. The Emperor bump's nice. Again, there is no water out there. And there are there's only one intrigue in the game that gives you water and need High Council for it. So... Interesting to see what's going to happen here. Where's Muad'Dib going first? Margot has not found any, Margot is just going to go for that, which is fine. This could get interesting. We'll see if Paul flukes Money Intrigue. In a way, I almost hope he does. As weird as that is. But yeah, I definitely feel like presenting this is a lot easier than compared to, say... what do you want to call it? Compared to, say... like the previous version of this mod, where it's kind of a bit... I don't want to say dry, but it's not as easily presentable. Whereas this, I think, is not too bad. Yep. Let's get it in. So, it depends on what Muad'Dib does. Did he fluke one? Ring's coming. Need to see what he's going to do here. I had a feeling he was going to, yeah, just go there. Interesting. So we have an interesting choice. Yeah, he's just going all in on spies here, on factions. Because he's got Guild Spy. So he's just trying to, obviously, just jam up these faction spaces, which is pretty standard. So, I know what I want to do, but I'm happy to wait this out and be patient. So let's just grab the Swordmaster, and we'll trash that out. And just deal with that. Gotta be careful, though. I have trash, you know, we got rid of one of those, which is fine. Just gotta be careful of deck composition. Yep. Is that what I want to do? I feel like it's kind of the move I want to take here. Yep, so she's also just going to chuck worms in. No surprise. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the world we live in. World of worm spam. So, what is the move here? Yeah, he's just going to go Assembly Hall, I think. Or he'll go Arakeen, maybe. No, he's going to pay for the water. I mean, I do, but I also want to get access to shipping. So I'm probably going Highliner here. This is a combat we need to win. So I'm trying to work out what way around to do this. No one else is going highliner. We can keep all the distraction and decide what we want to do with that later. Let's go secrets, I think. Because I want to use undercover asset to get to Imperial privilege. So we want to start getting some secrets to build that up. Make that a little bit easier. Funny. I was just talking about that intrigue. Just talking about that. Very funny. She should just go Strike Fleet here. Strike Fleet on Margot is absurd. Which is another reason why I'm tempted just to bow this conflict. Yeah, looks about right. Because it's getting harder and harder for us to win fights. How much more willing to commit to do this? I think the answer is a lot. I think the answer is a hell of a lot. Let's see what Amber does. This is what I want to do. I wanted to just... We have the ability to wait out and see what Amber does here. I think she also wanted to go secrets herself. It's not a bad move. I think if I was seeing Green Sea, I'd be pretty worried that Highliner's coming here. So I've got to determine how much I want to spend. Look at that. How many more do you want to get? Do you want to pick up for him? That's insane. Muad'Dib's got... If he's doing this, he's got to put them all in here. Yeah. Bear in mind, he's got no Fremen Bond for Charney. He does have 6 swords. He could have a battle intrigue, but I think we have to just gamble. I think we have to go in here. Is 12 strength enough? That's the problem here. I don't think 12 strength is enough. I don't know. He's got spice. He could... This is difficult. It's highlight and put it all in. There's not a lot of intrigues out there. That give swords. I don't really care if Paul wins too much. But we probably have to just bomb this and close our eyes and hope we win. If we get second place, it is what it is. It's still not terrible. We have to charge a price. I don't think I win this a lot of the time, but I also have 2 intrigues of my own, so... But if he's got an intrigue, he has to fire it out. He's committed himself here, so this is... I don't think our odds of winning are that great. I should also have used distraction. And put a spy down. It was me being silly. Put that here. Yeah, Amber's obviously going to give it up. She's got no choice. I don't know. It's difficult to beat Muad'Dib here on this. This is pretty gutsy. This is basically a bluff. So, you know, it's a risk we take. But if he wins this cheaply, it's also pretty absurd. I think we just got to charge a price here, and if he wins, he wins. Grab that to trash, later on with our ring. If he wins, so be it. Hopefully he has nothing. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. Okay. Where's the spy going? It's a good question. I think the spy goes up here, actually. We want that access. And we get a point with the... Call it an objective point. We'll just put this... Put it here. Whack those in there. Denote that as we've got one of those points. Everyone's got their stuff. Looks like it. Alright, cool. Alright, well that worked. Thank God for that. What a hand. What a hand. Okay. So, oh, man. Do I really have to do that? That sucks. Difficult position, this. Massive conflict, by the way. Chome security is absurd. That needs to just come out there, because obviously that was tied. That. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Marty wants to get his worms in more than going for his sword master, which is funny. Yay. Red's going to go in heavy here. So I've got to decide what to do with this situation. There's an argument that says we go siege with undercover just to get war and troop in. And just also, it's just to gather up here. Bit of a tricky spot for us, this. Go espionage. I'd have to work out where the spy's going. I could also go Arakeen to give myself privilege as well, actually. Siege Arakeen, privilege, truth trance, just somewhere. Yeah, I can live with that. I can live with that. But I think going siege is important here. I think the water is going to be required for some bits and pieces. Maybe like a research station in a couple of rounds. It also just blocks people from going there and getting used to siege. Because siege is a very strong space, so it just hinders that a little bit. Red feels like they have to win this, which they probably do. It's either that or they're just going to continue to just bomb that, which they might also do. We'll see what happens. Margot needs spice and needs intrigues. So it's very hard to stop her from getting this alliance and holding it's the issue. So she's likely going to profit a lot here. But she really does want to win this if she can. Surely someone's going Arakeen here. I think Amber was going to go siege, but again, this is the beauty of like having undercover assets. I can just block that. She probably just goes to refinery, get a contract done. You do need to make sure... There's something I've only noticed as well. So these only go here. These don't work on the track. So, you know, maybe it could do with working on both. I don't know. It's a thing. But I think denoting it as that is also fine. So Mardi obviously will go in with worms. It's not a great conflict for him. I mean, he gets a point out of it. But it's not an amazing conflict for him to win this. But this is a conflict where he almost wants to come second here. So let's go Arakeen. Oh, I pulled my Diplo. That's kind of wild. At least we'll limp in one here. Pulling our Diplo is a bit unlucky, actually. That is a bad draw for us. It also means if Margot, I have a feeling she might have wanted to go Arakeen herself, so now she's got to spend her spider to do it. Also, keeping Muad'Dib away from card draws is obviously really good. So, bit of a tricky spot. I feel like we're not in a bad position, but we're not in a great one. It's all very tenuous. Our deck's not very good. That is a problem here. Do I ever want to use Council's Ambition itself? It's a pretty good card. Like, having that 2-water is really damn useful. No, it's done. That's why I have the pair. Yeah, pretty crazy, like, 3 Ornithopters coming out in 3 out of 4 being Ornithopters is pretty rare. So she's just gonna dump dudes in. Yeah, as I said, she has to go in heavy for this. So she's just gonna barrel in. She has to. She's got no choice. This is one that she has to win. She feels she has to win, so she's just gonna charge this. She's reasonable. I think Margot might be favourite, but I don't know. Yeah, she's got to put them all in. It's just too strong for her. She needs the alliance, the pair, everything here. This is too important for her. She's had to pay a lot for this. But she can't skimp on this. It's too important. We'll see what Amber's going to do here. I'm not entirely sure what move she's going to make. Is she still going to... Yeah, that makes sense. She wants the money. I think she does have high cancel intentions. She also might well start fighting us for privilege as well, which is obviously not ideal. Interesting to see what Amber's going to do as well. Like, she's going to reveal before us, and we're going to keep an action in hand by going to privilege here. So it'll be interesting to see if she retreats her troop or not. She might just retreat it and do us a favour. I'm unsure. We're also probably gonna use Desert Tactics to trash like our dagger here. We haven't got a lot of cards with green access, the only problem. This is round 5. We had 3 fought to combats out of 4, which is pretty unusual, but, you know, kind of cool. Red's got Junction, so they've obviously gone all in for this conflict. They have to. Muad'Dib's totally cool with having second place. Yeah. Probably second place might even be better for him, which is kind of sad, really, but it is what it is. So he's just going to go secrets and just, yep. Just grab loads of this stuff. Pretty standard. Just going to keep spamming that. Yeah. So what you do? It's a spam card. You spam away. I guess I get rid of Ambition. It's a nice card, but I don't think it's something we're actually ever going to use. We're going to keep the Spy, though. I want to keep that there. I'm not interested in drawing a ton. That's a nice card. That's a very useful card. Just take the Siege one back. No, I didn't. You're right. I never did. We'll just do that now. It's also not bad. I keep forgetting to do it with Irulan. continue to forget to do that. Yeah, that's Margot's insurance policy on her alliance. If I could get 6 spice, I could quadruple bump that alliance. With a shipping trip. That is absolutely insane. So, Amber's got 3 swords. She's never retreating here. Am I going to put it in at Desert Tactics just to get past her for the intrigue? I think I am. I think I'm going to do it. Which is a little crazy, but it's a real issue for green here. She has a lot of power that she's not getting anything for. I think it's Desert Tactics, trash the dagger, we put in all 3 troops just to get past her. I do need to trash a card anyways. We're going to have, what, 5 to buy? So Versif looks pretty decent. I don't have to... I can leave the spy there. We can put a spy somewhere else. Unless Paul's going for it. But the thing is, he doesn't have to spend it. Okay, that's fine. Watermaster's also fine. I think we do it. Do I want 6 for, like, Arrakis Revolt? Or Desert Power? I think so. I think so. Yeah, let's do it. Pull it. Ooh, that's a nice pull, actually. So we'll get rid of that. Put them in. And then reveal for 7. I'm trying to work out which one's better for us here. I think Arrakis Revolt is actually better for us because it gives us the garrison troop. I'm more interested in the swords. I don't think I'm ever going to have to spare water on hand, so we'll just take Revolt. Garrison's a troop for us. Ooh, Unswerving's a nice little card for us, actually, to trash up our ring. Yeah, I'm going to take that. Green's got nothing. We're just here just to steal from green, basically. That's what I'm interested in doing, so... Just get in front of her. Ha! Funny. I mean, it's not that bad, actually. Man. I've got to make a very important decision whether I think it's worth me stealing this alliance from red. I have to do it in 1 move if I'm going to do it. That's the only issue here. I have to do it in 1. Doing it in 2 is really difficult. We find... Okay, that's not... Oh, wow. Okay, well, this is about to get pretty interesting. Oh, man, this is about to get pretty wild. Shoot, I've only got 1 spy down, though. I have no money for it. Oh, man, this is going to be... I need to think this through very carefully here. It's a fought to combat. Shadow contest now, which is insane. Or we'll barrel for this. Doesn't quite work, though. I mean, I could... Difficult spot. I mean, if he doesn't use it, like, he's losing it. Yeah, he's got to use opportunism now. He feels he has to get rid of that, so... He's got to debump twice and pay 2 of them. Just press the spot on the track. So he has to do that to keep the point here. Okay, that's fine. So... It's awkward spot. I've got to really think this through. I think I know the move. I think it's worth doing it as well. I think it's worth the move, and I could do with the water anyways. I think we're gonna go deliver supplies, and we might be able to do some crazy stuff here. The bump's good for us whatever happens. We're gonna ascertain the situation. But I want that water anyway. Man, am I about to do this? Am I about to do this? Do I want to... I'd have to do that, though, if I'm going to do this. That's the downside. But Red's the only other person that can get there, so... Oh, it's very dangerous to do this. I don't have to. Remember, Red needs 2 spice. And to trash an intrigue with Junction Headquarters in order to get points from it. So... I think that should be in there, right? Yeah, that should be in there. Yeah. So, we can steal Red's alliance. The question is it worth it? I'd have to drop a bump somewhere else to get it. No. We can go shipping. I could also go Arakeen and do it that way. I don't have to ship. It's also true. The problem is our access is really tricky. Okay, well that's no longer an option. But that pays for politics. So now, you know, I just got to send the ring somewhere. Wow. We could do some really crazy stuff here. Don't have to use Fopter. I don't have to go shipping. No, admittedly not. Because when if I'm going to use the Signet Ring, we trash on Swerve and it gives us +2 spice. And we could even drop the Emperor. Oh my god, I see the move here. This is so sick. This is absolutely disgusting. We can drop the Emperor, because then I can go back there later on and get another intrigue as well. So we go... but I need the money for further is the only issue. I need the money to get privilege if I was going to do that. And I can generate it. By using... Oh my, this is absolutely cooked. So we use Imperium Politics. We pay that for that. That gives us 3 coins. And then we Signet Ring to here. Getting rid of that. So we draw a couple of cards. We trash Unswerving for a couple of spice. And then we pay Change Allegiances. This is absolutely disgusting. And just completely steal it. That is hideous. And we get the agent back as well as a Brucey bonus. We've not drawn amazing, truthfully. But I think it's worth taking that away from red. Like, letting red accumulate this points of junction is brutal. And the fact is, again, we can get our infantry back later on, which is also a bonus. And just taking that away, and that's just done and dusted. And, you know, I don't have to worry about that. So I think that's the move. But yeah, it's getting to privilege first so that I can then sack the experience away. But I'm already here, so it doesn't matter at that point. But yeah, the intrigue gives us the money. It's absolutely disgusting for red. It's absolutely disgusting. And it's almost a little cheeky, like, oh, you can go deliver supplies now. You know, I know you've got access to go there. Maybe you want to get some water. It's absolutely brutal, so yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't draw great here. Like, I might be about to run out of moves, but yeah, that's a heinous set of moves, that. I don't know if it was worth it. We need to find some faction bumps, but, you know, we still have access to shipping, and we still have access... We've still got a couple of Diplo cards dotted around, so it's not hard for us to potentially get access to that. But again, that's Chronicler's Insight. Chronicler's Insight is such a cool ring. Like, there's so many diverse moves to it. I just think it's really awesome. Yeah, being able to trash into that 2 spice lets you do things that you just can't do otherwise. It's kind of why I like playing as Paul in the base game, is you can do sets of moves you just can't do everyone else. Yeah. You know, as they say, you can't defend the triple bump. And there's certainly nothing you can do about that as red. That's just, you just gotta shrug and say, yeah, well played. And funnily enough, it was Green's Arakeen move that made me be able to do that. If no one goes Arakeen, I can't actually do that. I have to just go shipping. But Green giving me the coin at for the flag allowed me to make that move happen, which is super awesome. I suppose probably that's the next logical move for me to make. Yeah, it looks pretty good. But it's just Imperial Privilege as well. It's just such a much more dynamic space. It's super cool. So anyways, we've got this situation ahead of us. We have obviously we have a pretty difficult spot here. I would have liked to use Wheels Within Wheels, but I can't. There's nothing we can do about that. So now it's about what do we do next. We've only got 2 legal spaces, sadly. So it's which one's more valuable. I think it's Imperial Basin. We go Basin with Limper Trooping. Not much to do here. Charge a price. Sarkar Coordination's also turned up in the row. It's not a bad card. Sarkar Coordination's very good. It's still a decent row. There's been a lot of good cards out there. Here comes Strike Fleet. So she's off to Arakeen. And it's fun. If she decides to just barrel in here, then that's okay. I was tempted not to put the troops in, but I'll limp it in. It's a dude. It's not a big deal. So if she feels she's got to go in here for this complat, then, you know, so be it. I suppose I could have not put it in and just held out for a while. I guess. Whatever. So where's this spy going from Wheels? That's the next question. Interesting. Only put in 1 troop. So she's just garrisoning up here. Conflict Freeze coming next. I'm not really in a position to do much about it, sadly, but what are you going to do? Amber's going to, yep, she'll go Worming. She'll take the Alliance. Pretty standard stuff. I was hoping to get to accept contract, but Muad'Dib's got 9 persuasion, probably. He's just trying to get to 9 persuasion, so, you know. I think we've played pretty decently so far. It's just we're in kind of a bit of a limited situation. I feel like going to Spice Refinery is fine. I think the money is useful for us. I also think that we need to put in a second troop. We have to charge a price of Margot here. She might have retreat for the contracts. Yeah, Muad'Dib. Yeah, Muad'Dib with Guild Spy and Benny Operative. He's just going to win this game, like, pretty conclusively here. This is so ridiculous. No, you can't. Oh, he's short! Oh, he's got 8! He's missed! Wow! He was trying to draw his way out of Dune, and he pulled Subversive. That's about the only card I didn't want to see. Oh, he's missed his, he's missed it. So, that's an enormous miss. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. That is insane. So, next round, we're going Espionage first, right? So, he's just getting rid of that out of the row. That's all he's doing. Because he can't pay for it. So, that's out of there. So, we'll go here. Let's pay the spice. The money's good for potential High Council. We have to put in a second troop here. We've got a charge price. If she decides to just barrel in weirdly, then she does. Let so be it. So where's the spy going? Could put it back up council. It's just great for Imperial Privilege. Guarantees we can get there. High Council options as well. If we decide to go Spice Must Flow, I think that's important. Shipping is potential, but I don't have the spice to get there. That's the one issue. Getting these free friendships is a little tough for us. Truthfully. Oh, the spice is coming because of the, hopefully, Shadow Contest, so it's actually not that bad. So... How does second coordination turn up? Wow, that's pretty funny. What do we want to do with our free here? Calculus of Powers, not bad, but it's a bit late. Maybe there's a chance I get the Wheels of In Wheels trash. I don't have a lot of spies. War Master's potentially nice. I think it's a bit late in the day. I guess Calculus is fine. It's a 2 persuasion card. Pick up Calculus. We'll let them do whatever they're going to do. Yep, green's going all in. No shock there. No surprises. Oh, the spy, yeah. Thank you. I was talking about, wasn't I? It's on, yeah, okay. So we get our spice back. So that's good. So that means we can find a way to get to shipping if we need to. Again, there's only 2 people that can get there, which is useful. But we might need a bit of help actually getting there. We'll see how things go. We do need to pick up our faction access a little bit here. The only problem is, that's a problem. If I go espionage, if I go espionage, I can't pay for shipping with Fopter. And we can use Fopter pretty freely. We're not really winning any combats anymore. Truth be told, so... Also, yellow has buckets of intrigues, so it's probably worth just going secret, saving the spice for a shipping hit. Might actually be better for us. I do have shipping access coming, right? Ooh, only with assets. Undercover assets is fine. Like, we don't need undercover assets for really anything at this point. It's done its work, getting us to Siege. I know we've got our hooks. Like, I know I haven't used worms yet, but it's fine. But I think we probably just go secrets and just steal a load of intrigues. Can't be a bad move, right? It means that I've got this to denote this point here. So this is to denote that I've got 1 point from matching, basically. Because there is none of these there. Because these don't work on this. It's separate. It's just for convenience. It's just something for me to show that I have that, and that's a thing. So, do we go secrets, or do we go espionage? I think given our specific hand, I think we're better off going secrets. We get 3 intrigues. We get 2 intrigues for this. I think secrets is better. If I win 2 more top fights, then I'd just double sack it. Or put it to the side or something. You know, it's just a display only. I think secrets is better here. Yeah, I think secrets is better given our specifics hand. Let's just go there. Oh, it randomly does the secret seal as well. Oh, I don't know which one I stole. But that's insane. What a find. Oh my holy god, what a pull that is. That is a monster find, that. Oh my god. Well, that deals with our friendship issues. Wow, what an insane draw that is. Man, that's wild. Well, we don't have to go shipping anymore. Which means maybe I use Revolt for the worm? I don't know. Unsure. Anyways, the combat is... It's Imperial Basin, which is vacant. It is a Thopter symbol, but they're all out now. Both of them have been paired, so it's nothing for the symbol. There's also not a lot of spice out there, truth be told. So... It's hard for people to score tons and tons of points. In theory, yellow could win this and just end the game here, but... Man alive, what an insane draw that is. And we have the pairing card with Thopter, so we know that no one else has that. So no one else can win this and stealth get a point in endgame. We have the card for that, so we have a lot of information on this fight. The problem is... This is tough. So she's going High Council, surely. Of course, the Wild Conflict can bump... Yeah, propaganda can still come up. Like I said, we got a lot of information on this fight, so... Well, we know that no one else can pair this. Unless they win this in propaganda, which is, like, almost impossible. That's going up top, I assume. So, yeah, it's a... I don't know, I'm not too sure what we're going to do here. Byaxis is such a great card, but if I use it, I can't get to Privilege. Which I do kind of want to do. It also gives us an extra intrigue draw, which is also just good. This is difficult. He's going for Guild Spy. There's an element that says we go to Assembly Hall to block and stop him putting a dagger down. With our... this is tough. It draws us a card as well, which isn't bad. There's a few cards I would like to see. We also could, again, still use Undercover Asset to get to Imperial Privilege. Like, we don't have to... Yeah, this is very difficult to know what to do here. If I go Assembly Hall, I'm almost forcing myself to use a card, though. I can just use Thopter. I could go gather support and threaten Arrakis Revolt. Can I win this? When Margot's sitting on Megaliner, very hard. But she can't gain a lot from this either, truth be told. The problem is if I go Imperial Privilege, I can't use buy access. Unless I ship, which I don't really need to then do at that point. So it's very difficult. I do want to stall out here. But if I just go in and get 5 spice, I can live with that as well. I think, but if I go gather support, I also can't. And if I go for the water, I also can't use, this is so awkward. Our money's really tricky here. And I can't rely on anyone else going Arakeen. This is a very difficult spot. Very tough. Assembly Hall could get me into all manner of problems. Depending on what happens. Is Muad'Dib really going to go secrets, though? To steal back? I don't think so. I think we go Assembly Hall and we see what we find. Oh, it's just doing nothing for us. Sorry, guys. Tricky spot. We can also just go Basin and just chuck a worm in. But if we're going to Arrakis Revolt, it's going to do it for us anyways. I don't think it's... I'm never going to win it. But I think we can still fight for the spice. Man, it's tough. I guess we just buy access. We get the intrigue spin. Maybe even go siege. She's buy access. Wow, we pick up Desert Mouse now. That's insane. Huh. That is insane. I think we probably have to just get this. But we don't... Again, Arrakis Revolt, we could just, like, go siege with that. But I'd also rather just have the... I'd rather just have the swords. And just go in at Hagar Basin. I think that's stronger for us. Yeah, that was my other assertion. It's fine. So it's a tricky spot for us here. I also partly, in a weird way, don't know if I want to draw or not. Margot's going highliner here, so I've no... She's surely highlining or doing something here. Like, it's... I can't expect to win the fight. I'm not really trying to. But also, us going Hagar Basin just stops those two going for worms as well, which is also just good. Unless they've got... a way of generating that, which is very unlikely. So it's also a bit of denial. Obviously, they can't let me win this. And again, I'm not expecting to win this. But how we shut this game out in the next couple of next round, I don't know. That's the issue here. Like, I don't know how we're going to gain any points. Ah, man. This is awkward. Yeah, she's going high council, that's... I think she's going high council privilege, I'm pretty sure. So so he's going espionage. Yeah, that's probably what I have to do. The problem is it means I have to draw. And that's the issue. Our next hand... Our thing is, our deck is just pretty bad. Truth be told. It's a really poor deck. Very bits and pieces. Very bits and pieces deck this. So, but like High Council setting up can't be a bad thing to do. The money's gonna be useful for something or another. Just is what it is, I guess. Good. Okay. There was a couple of cards I did not want to see. So, Margot's in a kind of a weird spot. She set herself up for Highline, but no one's really Highlined very much. She could just go Fremkit, but there is a lot of potential hidden swords about here. Should be noted that, like, we can't win the game. There's no way for us to win it. I can't even, like, use both mouses. Although I would have the hidden point. But she set herself up for Highline. The problem is like, how much of this do you put in? So, this is why it's kind of weird for her. Like, she always has to put loads in because her garrison's so heavy, but it's really weird because no one's bothered putting in. So it's like, what do you do? It's a weird spot. It's a weird spot. And again, she can't really gain much out of this, as well, is the funniest part. Like, she's going Highline here, but she's gaining a point. Unless she has a way of magicking a ton of spice out of nowhere, which is possible occasionally. So it's a really weird spot for her here. All we can do is just gather a load of spice and work it out. Maybe there's a world we do manage to get another alliance. Like, the Emperor is sitting there. But I think we've done about the best we can do in this situation. It's five. You mean the 5 spice 3 water one? There is no 5 spice 5 Solari intrigue. So, what do I want to buy from the row? We have 4. What master would have been nice? Well, Spacing Guild would have been nice, but we're short on it. Spacing Guild's a great mid to late game card, by the way, for that reveal. Oh, markets. You mean markets? Yeah. Well, if she's got markets shifting, then she does. But she can't. She's only going to get a 1 extra point. Like, she doesn't have any worms in, and she has no way of generating any worms. She needs 2 water for unexpected allies, and she can't produce that. So, we're not in any particular danger here. I guess just, like, grabbing Mauler Pistol's fine, just for card cycling. I don't know how often that's going to be useful in this game, but I guess we'll find out. It's kind of weird from Wardib. Looks like he's gonna have a Dickers here. He looks like he might have some. He wants to have a piece of this. Yeah, looks like it. We might have to use this spy up in Council. I mean, I could get Space-Time Folding as well. It's potentially a denial card, and it is ring fodder. I guess we could see if we pick up anything that's also interesting. We'll still be fine. Let's pick up space time. Make a keeper. It's a good card. We're gonna have that. Call that a day. Leadership turns up. She did have, yeah, she had market, so that's only 2 points she can gain from this. Still not a lot. She can't pair the Fopter at the moment. We have the card for that, so there's not a lot for her to gain here. I mean, I don't care if I get second or third here. We just have to score something. Yeah, she's giving that up. Muad'Dib's going to come over the top anyway, so... Interesting to see how this is going to break down. Again, we don't need to worry too much about spice-wise. It's a bit of a shame we pulled these two and not the sword one. What are you going to do? But it is hard for us to win this game at this point. It's looking very tricky. Yeah, there's his worm. And a couple of daggers. Do I care about paying the spy to deny him more spice? I don't think I particularly care. It doesn't matter to me if he's got 12 spice or 8 spice. It's totally irrelevant to me. Muad'Dib might also just win this game right now. It's also very possible. He took leadership instead of the spice must flow. What? That's cooked to me. That's absolutely absurd. So we'll see if Yellow's going to go ahead for this anymore, and then we can see the situation. Yellow can go for it. Yellow feels he has to go for this. Yep, he does. So he's chucking in some swords. Yeah, keep going, kids. Red at Impress for a couple. Then we'll see if Yellow's got any more. If Yellow does, he has to go for it. Yellow's got more. So this is fine. So we get 6 spice. We've got a couple in the back pocket as well. So I think it's not bad. Worm and a troop for 6 spice. I can live with that. So yeah, we just got to work out what our next move is going to be. We have shipping access. We probably have to try fighting for Emperor. Beating Amber to that, though, is very, very difficult. No, it's part of Impress. He has to do that. And it's mandatory as well. Like, if there's a card that you can grab that costs 3 or less, you have to take something. Yeah, and there's the +3 swords, so... Take our 6 spice and call it a day. So we've twice denied green bits pieces, so that's good. But we'll have to play this by ear. It's very hard for us to win this. So Muad'Dib only gets the 2 points. He's very reliant on getting these friendships. So there might even be an element of trying to deny him getting those, perhaps. There's nothing else he can do here. And we'll move on. Yeah, it's been a decent game, this, I think, I reckon. It looks like it is a shootout between me and Yellow. I would say Yellow is favourite here. Yellow's much more likely to score points than I am, so it's looking hard for us to win this. And it is propaganda. That is insane. Okay. We find wheels. Truth trance. Countless we need to reveal. Okay, so yeah, this is where it's now getting really hard for us to win this game. You know. Wild conflict this. Yeah. She's just gonna go there immediately. Makes sense. No surprise there. It's such a weird conflict, this. It's like... So, interesting thing to note. Calculated higher, I could, like, play wheels and then use calculated to trash it passively to get this +3 swords. We might end up doing that. Is Green really going to fight for the Emperor Alliance, though, given the situation? She might do. She might. Howdy, howdy. Well, when you produce a spy, you put it on one of these observation posts, and you can use it either to... If you go to a space connector, you can either voluntarily pull it to get a card draw, or you can use it for infiltration. So, I could go High Council and pull this before... You've got to do it first, and use this to get hold of an extra card draw. But if someone's already gone High Council, then I can expend that to infiltrate the space. That's the TLDR. They're pretty good. Some cards also have these symbols on them, which means that you can send them to a place connected to an observation post, which is pretty cool. So, I'm thinking we go Sardaukar to garrison, the card draw. We can spend Thopter, because that symbol's gone. We've got Desert Mouse as a backup in case that happens to work itself out. I think Sardaukar's a good place to go. It's an alliance we can definitely look to try to win. We're probably going to use this in the council somewhere. Yeah, Muad'Dib's just, he's out of, he's just trying to just end this game ASAP. I also want to go Dutiful just to stop him getting there. Because Muad'Dib just needs 2 points at this point. We might have to go Dutiful to block him. I know. But Dutiful's doing nothing for us is the problem. I think we have to gamble and hope he just doesn't win it. Doesn't find it. If he gets there and he wins the game, he gets there and he wins the game. What are you going to do? Is what it is. It's trash fodder is what it is. Call to Arms is... It's not the worst card in the world, Call to Arms. But it's not going to save the day here, I don't think. It's probably just card to get trashed. Now, Amber does not want to go Imperial Privilege right now. Because if she goes Imperial Privilege, she frees up Highliner. It is worth noting the recall spy spot. That is mandatory. If you have an agent you can recall, you must recall something. There is no ifs or buts about it. You have to... You've got to go in for that, so... But yeah, I think Muad'Dib is literally just going to go Dutiful, draw a card, and he's probably just going to try and just win the game with Guild Spy. And I don't think we can stop him. Which is what it is. I'm not sure Muad'Dib can be stopped anymore at this point. I think the game is... I think he's just going to win it, really. It's very hard to see how we're going to stop him from winning this. If he wins, so be it. I think we've played a pretty good game. But when you get Guild Spy, you just win matches. So... You know, he's won his tier 3, so he's pretty good. So... Might just be playing for second here. The other problem we've got is that I don't actually have a way of getting hold of this, actually getting hold of the Emperor Alliance. I don't know what Yellow's looking for, There's not much interesting. Yeah, so you see, notice though, Amber's going here. Like, she wants to go privilege, but she's not going to give up Highline to do it. She can't give up Highline to do it, so she has to do another action first. Yeah, that's the way Muad'Dib goes sometimes. You pick... Muad'Dib's just going to get picked in second spot all the damn time, unfortunately. So... Inputting that's an interesting card, though. Maybe he can't finish it. I don't know. Let's see. It's not enough to get an intrigue unless he has a way. Unless he's got reinforcement, which he doesn't. Okay, so we're gonna go privilege. Wheels within Wheels is gonna give us some resources back. Looks good to me. So we'll pull that back for a draw. So we have to call that back. It's mandatory. We find Diplo. It's a great card for us. We'll get rid of Call to Arms, because I think this is the last round anyways. That's not bad. Yeah, finding Diplo is... that's a massive draw. It's an absolutely insane pull, that. Oh, it's +2 slurry, isn't it? Yeah. My bad. So I guess we just go Sardaukar again. Oh my god. I could... Oh, that's an interesting move. No, I can't do that. There's a nice idea, but no, I can't actually do what I was going to do there. I was thinking Sardaukar. Like, the question is, we get a spy from that. So the question is, what do we do with the spy? Where are we going the round afterwards? I think we have to go Sardaukar. I think it's mandatory. The problem is, secret stealing... Well, actually, no one's got any agents, and there's no intrigues to make you... There's no urgent mission in this game. So if people spend their free agents, and Kwisatz, of course, you have to still have an agent to send, or you recall another one. So there's no ambushing to be done here. So it looks like Muad'Dib's gonna... looks like he's gonna get there. So we now have to try and win this game somehow, which is basically impossible. So let's go Sardaukar, and we'll work out where we're gonna put our spy. But point to point, it's more swords. So where are we going with the... where are we going with this? Where's the best spot for us to visit? Arakeen? I guess it's Arakeen, right? Yeah, Arakeen looks good. There's about as good as we're going to get here. But it looks like Muad'Dib's going to win it. So... This is what it is. I think, again, we've played decent, but we've got a lot of swords coming. We need to... Oh, we need to leave the spy. We need to not spend the spy. We need it for fine weakness. So we've got 5, 7, 10, 13 swords. We can get to 19 strength. Oh, my God. There's no way. But the problem is... This is potentially winnable. If green does not have a battle intrigue, I think we can win this combat. Yeah, no one's got any agents left, but we need to leave the spy for fine weakness. We've got 5, 7, 10, 13. 6 troops is 19. It's good by 1. And we would gain a point from propaganda, which gets us to 9. But there's nothing else to be done here, so yeah, I think he's good. Yeah, it's a yellow. It looks like yellow wins this. I can't stop him. Yeah. So we can win the conflicts, which is nice. So we're just playing for second. I mean, this was a fight for second for like a while ago. Yeah, is what it is. So yeah, we just win the conflict basically and get what we can. But yeah, we can't record. We ain't got enough doing on. So Whoops. Well, just do it this way. It's fine. So we can win the conflict at least. So we just do this basically. Yeah, nothing else to do. I pick up +2 swords. That feels kind of good. End turn. Oh, it's just me, isn't it? So we can trash that. Take the swords. Well, no, I need it for fine weakness, and I drew too early. I was meant to just click the space, so it's fine. We're good on swords here. Nah, it's what it is. I didn't know it was going to be that. It doesn't matter. Yellow still won the game, so but I get second. Yeah. It is what it is. So we at least get the point. So that's nice at least. But I think we did the best we could here. Yeah, the spice trade as well. Yeah, so we played the best we can. But yeah, propaganda is like basically Grand Vision of old. Like no one could score off this. If it's any double pointer, like Muad'Dib's in real trouble. If it's like our spice refinery, like someone's scoring 2 points and he's in trouble potentially. But yeah, what can you do? Not a lot. You know, you get Guild Spy, you just win a lot of games. So shrug. Because I get to combine with Desert Mouse, that's why. So I get a 9th point. So yeah, I think we played pretty good. We had some good moves, but I don't think we ever had an opportunity to actually win in it. Doesn't matter. I get propaganda. So it pairs with that. Pairs with the propaganda point. Any of those entries compare with propaganda. So yeah, I think we played pretty good. You know, it was pretty close. I don't think we could have done any more this game. I unfortunately, again, our deck's just not very good. Like, Guild Undercover Asset was like their only. Well, Truth Chance was also good, but we just didn't have a deck to really fight. You know, I mean, we played pretty good. I don't have much to complain about. It just is what it is. You know, we found the steal. We managed to like still get 2 alliances as well, which is great. I mean, we were just a bit unlucky with it being propaganda, and that's just what you're gonna do. Shrug. Okay. We will. So just come up here. Just got to look at this. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's just what you do. You just pick Muad'Dib, you just get the hooks first, and you just try and spam your way to Worm Victory. That's Muad'Dib, unfortunately. And the problem with Muad'Dib in a way is that if you pick him, like you're basically committing yourself to that path immediately, and that's the only problem. He's not very interesting. He just does one thing the whole time, and that's it, really. You know, he pulled up Opportunism, which was pretty insane. Although he would have got the point elsewhere. I mean, he's just Guild Spy. Like, he only got it off once. He only needed to get it off once. He got his alliance. It was the last combat as well. Like, he was going to pick that up. So I think we were a bit unlucky with the way the combat's timed out. You know. Was what it was. Yeah, we played well. In another world, we get a chance to win it. We didn't pull it. I'm not, you know. I don't think I could have done any more this game. And that is the one thing I will say for this. We have our review coming up soon with me and CJ. We did an in-depth review for this. And that is one thing that we did comment about this. That sometimes it does just feel like You know, you can play a pretty good game and just not win it, and just never felt like you had much of a chance to win it. Uprising's a bit like that sometimes, so you know, what you gonna do? She does chat up contract. Like I find I get a lot of second places, but like actually winning it, you know, it's kind of tough. So, shrug. Anyways, we'll do one more, I guess. We're here. You know, it's giving us a chance to expose. So yeah, so as far as the mod's concerned, so you can kind of get a feel for how it all works. You know, it's just getting used to the fact there's one or two differences and little bits and pieces. But I think now that especially now the hands are down here, like now it's in a pretty good shape. So. But, yeah. I mean, that's just the way you gotta accept Uprising. Like, it's... CJ has stronger thoughts on it than I do. And I would obviously say to watch the thing when you get it. Like, he probably should have got Guild Spy off the time before. So, like, he was always favourite to win this, I think, from a while back. But he also had strategic stockpiling as well, which is insane. So that's good. And he had a bit of extra combat just in his back pocket. So, yeah, he was always likely going to win this game. And that is the one issue. Like, it does feel like, and I don't know, you could debate about it. There isn't very much an element of Uprising of the rich getting richer. I think the combat deck does not help that sometimes either. That is definitely a thing. So, but hey. So we'll reload the board. We'll have one more spin. See how it goes. We win, great. We don't, we don't. We'll move ourselves on, basically. Couple of things on moats. So yeah, there is obviously the 6-player option to do it. I've never played the 6-player personally. I'll probably give it a spin somewhere. I don't know when, but I'm not a big deal. The 6-player, I don't particularly. There are other people that are more interested about it than I am, truth be told. So I don't particularly sort of thing. But my understanding is it plays fine. But we'll, you know, say we'll give it a spin eventually. So, but yeah, it just helps that the mod is in a decent space. And as well, like the you know the background as well. It's like, ooh, look at all the funky space things, all that. This nebula we're in. It's probably a nebula. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna guess this is a nebula. I mean, I don't know what the hell this is. Do you know what this is? I don't know what this is. Something. I also will profess I don't entirely know how this sort of stuff gets made, but yeah, whatever. Sorry about that. I mean, I think that I don't know. This happens in base Dune anyways. There's sometimes like you can just. There are some games that you'll play, you just don't get the opportunity to find a win. Like. There's a lot of variance at the moment, and people kind of messing around with stuff and whatever else. Obviously, luck always has a bit to play in this game. There's no doubt about that. Luck always has its part in this game. That'll never change. So
gotta change dinosaurs.
Anyways,
oh, there you go.
So we'll go. Let's do this 4-3-1-2. I want to test all this stuff and make sure it's all kind of working. So that's all well and cool. I mean, that's the truth. Sometimes you'll play well and feel like you played well and you just don't win it. That's never been any different, so, you know. Alright, so here we go then. We've got the first seat. So, let's look at the row going into this. Public Spectacle is one of the strongest cards of the game. I don't quite know how it's priced at 4, but it is. Steersman's obviously pretty strong. Space Time Folding is a solid card as well. There's a lot of good stuff here. Thumper, sleep on Thumper. Thumper can be pretty decent. So there's some decent stuff here. We obviously don't know what the row is. We'll have to chill and wait for a bit. Someone's early revealing here, by the way. I'd put money on it. Someone's already revealing here. Public spectacle. It's the fact that public spectacle is the fact that it pays for itself as well. That it has its own spy. I mean, that's the other pretty crazy thing here. So, oh yeah, Reds has
Well, was he showing 999 ping to you too?
So we'll give him a moment. I don't think it loaded for him. Have to reload here. Alright, scrap that then. Have to just reload. Here's what it is. Oh my god, did I just do something? Sorry about that. If the feed just went there for a moment, I apologize. I don't think they were actually ever intending to play. I just saw them, so I didn't even look, so it's fine. But it is worth noting, yeah, so notice that the picking selection here, so this is something that is a little bit funky with the mod. So yeah, with the picking, it's like, so if you choose to like, so he's noticed here that it's only got like these three, for example. But like once the fourth comes in, then 4, 3, 1, 2, for example, turns up. It's waiting for that fourth person, so it's a little tricky. It's a little tricky. So if you do want to pick those, like the 4-player variants, you need to wait for the fourth person to sit down in a valid seat, and then they'll open up for you. So that is very missable indeed. Very missable. It's very, very tricky. So, but anyways, we'll give us a spin. See if we can find ourselves a chance to win the game or not. Sometimes you do, sometimes you just don't. I think that's what you can do in like Dune Imperium sometimes, is just give yourself winning chances. Like, you will never win any game, every game you play, by any stretch of imagination. Sometimes you just draw weird, sometimes the road just kind of doesn't really support what you're doing, you know. So you see, so now that appears. That is, it's a little tricky. In any event. That's all the seat switching there. I don't know what the scripting is for people to decide that, how that works. I honestly don't know. Anyways, we get the first seat again, which is kind of funny. Alright, what do we got this time then? Oops. Don't worry about that. Steersman's back. Covert Operation. Covert Operation's a cool card, actually. It's the only card, it's the only thing in the way in the game that can make people discard cards out of their hands. Its only effect as well, which is interesting. The fact that it reveals for 2 spies, though, is very strong. Instead of Strays, obviously great. Leadership's good if you're going for worms. It's also just decent access. So, again, some decent stuff there. So we'll see how this plays out. Open contracts, a high council and harvest. Should be noted, you do get to see the contracts if you're playing this by yourself. The setup's not particularly clear, but you are allowed to see what the contracts are before you start. And if someone pulls, like, Shaddam, then they do that. Oh my god, we have to go Staban, don't we? Staban looks really good here. I haven't played Staban in a while. I could pick Wadi, but I would take Staban. If someone reveals for Covert, which will occasionally happen, then, you know, that's just is what it is. That is the one risk with Staban when you pick him. You've got to have a couple of options. I don't know, if someone's going to early reveal for Covert, I don't think it's that likely. But we need to make sure we've got ourselves a decent reveal, preferably. Otherwise this could get tricky. We'll see how we go. Irulan, Fade, and Gurney. So, a couple of fighters and whatnot. And that's our hand. We pull both Diplos now, which is notable. It is fought to combat again. Which means it's probably worth going in. So, Fremkit has turned to be a very popular opening move. For the card draw, the fact is that Fremkit might well be the best opening space in the game. Deliver Supply is also pretty good. So, probably just go Fremkit with Seek Allies and put in 2. Seems reasonable to me. You also need to get rid of that, so... Let's do it then. God damn it. It's just so... It's so easy to do. You're busy talking. That's a good draw. That's a very good draw for us. So, there it goes. So we have a couple of options here, which is good. It's really tricky, that. Can you actually pick this up? Like, it's not in the table, is it? It's like a... I see. It's like... It's basically... Okay, it's like a... that is... Sure, I guess. Irulan just pumps it at Desert Tactics. Just fine. This is absolutely ridiculous. Everyone's just going in immediately here. Gurney I get. So, Refinery? I think Refinery's not bad. We could go... Basin? Basin might not be bad. I think Basin is fine. I think Basin's the move. It gives us options of going straight with our ring to Refinery next round. Which I think we have to try and give ourselves options for. So we'll go Basin here. We just put this in. I think we're putting it in. I don't think Irulan's got another dagger. She has no way of putting in more troops. She might have a dagger, but I think it's worth us putting this in here. Gurney will have a dagger, but I think we have to just hope Irulan didn't draw double daggers. She does, she does. What are you going to do? We have to try and get hold of some money here, so... Yep, so we did have the other reveal, but that's fine. We had the backup, so we are going to go for leadership, I think. Which is why we had the extra stuff. So we're going to go leadership to get hold of the faction access and give ourselves options. We're not really worming much, but we're just getting in. Okay, so... That's a shame. Hopefully we all just tie here, but I expect he might have double daggers. Oh, he's only got one. Okay. All right. So we all get second place, which is probably pretty good, actually. I can live with that. All right. So everyone ties. And everyone gets second place. Cool. Ah, one other thing that they should include is, do you remember in base Dune, the old Dune Imperium mod, there is a table of there's a table of like how tie breaks are done. That needs to be brought into this mod. It definitely should be. Wow, we actually pull leadership immediately. That's kind of cooked. Second one is test of loyalty. So more money. So people are obviously just going to dive in head first. No surprise. What do we want to do here? We've pulled Contingency, which is a very interesting card. It's a very interesting card, actually. It means that we're not obligated to go and put the spy on the city. We could actually spy up Haga Basin. And that's just going to produce us spice. Because obviously everyone's... Look at all this barreling for the faction here immediately. It's insane. The only issue we've got is it would be nice to put in troops, but there's no way for us to do it. So let's just get our Swordmaster and just sort it out here. It's fine. So we'll pay the spice. And we'll spy up the basin. Because we're just going to produce out of that. I might never go there, truth be told. I might never go there. So, Irulan has already trashed both her daggers immediately. I think that's pretty brave. So she has no council access outside of her ring. That might come back to bite her. I don't think, like, because you can trash your daggers immediately, I don't necessarily think you should do that, truth be told. Gurney's just getting ready for that, which is fine. Yeah. It's a shame we can't produce any troops here, but there's not much I can do about it. I might end up going Haga Basin myself anyways, truth be told. No one else has any actions. Let's go get our Swordmaster, and I might just go Basin anyway. Just pick up Spice. Obviously, we don't have any worms, that's fine. This is basically largely for the reveal. I'm probably not going to use it a ton. It's just a good reveal, so... Let's go grab that. But yeah, that's great. Now we need to spy up Haga Basin and get Swordmaster is pretty useful. I mean, it's pretty insane, isn't it? I don't think that's right. She's trashed the daggers, so she feels she's got to get prepared the way to make up for it. Giving up public spectacle for that seems completely insane. Gurney's got 2. He also gets his water. He found Fadakin immediately. What's Fade Ralph got for his reveal? We'll see. We're going to 4 ourselves. Tread's not bad. Maybe you can go Harvester maybe once in a blue moon. Got some options. There's going to be carnage people diving for this Swordmaster, by the way. Because bear in mind, I have cheapened it up, so... He has to go public. That's automatic. Bene Gesserit Operative turns up for us. That's a good card. So I think we just go Haga Basin and we just collect the spice. We leave the agent... We obviously leave the spy there. There's no reason to draw anything else here. I'd say it looks good to me. Just pick up some spice. Call it a day. So now the game starts for us here. Got to bear in mind, of course, it's a smaller deck. We currently have no access to Emperor or Spacing, which is obviously not great. So, you know. We'll suss it out as we go. We'll just play it. We'll just play it as we see it, basically, at this point. Kind of funny that Blue revealed the covert. They were that desperate for it. But again, this is why I had the backup for leadership. Oh, what a hand. Yikes, what a hand. That's rough. Can't do much with this. Gurney's going for Steersman. Interstellar. This is a really rough draw. Yep. Pretty standard. Tricky. Arakeen's not going to be heavily fought for here. I don't think. There are worlds I have to sack off 2 actions here. Which is pretty sad. Well. Do I care about buying? I gotta work this out what I want to get rid of here. We're not getting hold of Steersman or Interstellar Trade here, so I think we can just give up convincing at this point. Don't have to worry about it. I want to keep hold of the dagger. I think I'm going to need it. So we go Arakeen first, and we'll play it out from there. That's a good find. We need the money. Let's go in. It's unlikely Gurney's gonna go like over the top of us here. There's no reason for it. Yeah. She's just gonna detonate the wall immediately. Not very interesting, but it is what it is. So, where am I putting these? This is the next question. So our deck is kind of tricky. It's not helping this situation. I can put spies down. Obviously. I feel like blocking up Deep Desert can't be bad. Because obviously, because of Staban's. That Smuggle Spies passive is very strong. And we're going to get something out of that. It doesn't have to stay there for long. We can always shift it later on. That's a great thing with Staban. Like, you can just chuck a load of spies down. And then, like, if Gurney, like, Deep Deserts, we can then recall it with our ring and then shift it somewhere else. Like, once the spies down, you're not forced to leave it there. Which is great. If that situation happens. That can happen occasionally with other people, where people can, like, put spies down. They get a little bit stranded on occasion. That definitely happens. So, you know, it's just about kind of playing this out and working it as we go here. So the camera, you can't really see what's going on. I'm sorry. I'm getting a bit distracted trying to think about what the hell I'm doing in this game. Just trying to suss out. I feel like espionage can't be a bad move. We've got the spice to use it. We're going to pick up more from that. It gets us 2 spies down. One could go Deep Desert for sure. The question is, where's the other one going? Assembly Hall once in a blue moon? And the other good thing with Benny Operative as well is because you have these spies down on, like, the spies on the mining spots, which I'm not going to use, that means I can then just start revealing this for free persuasion, stuff like that, so. We do find our ring immediately. Now, that is interesting. I might put it on for Spice Refinery and then put it onto, like, the Emperor for intrigue here, I think. So that goes there, and that's going to go there. Seems a decent move. Public Spectacle is so crazy good. Dangerous Rhetoric turns up. I don't know if green can get that, but we definitely can. So we have to just play for it. So I think, we take the spy at the Emperor. I don't know how often I'm actually able to use it, but we'll see how this goes. So we'll recall that for a draw. I was partially hoping to find my leadership card, I'm not gonna lie. That would have been worth a lot of strength, but we didn't pick it up. There it goes. So we'll put that there. Pay for the intrigue. That's a good intrigue. That's a very good intrigue for us. It's also not the worst. We can probably get leadership to like Fremkit or something. So, it's not too bad. So we're going to pick up Dangerous Rhetoric for sure. I don't see any reason to pick up anything else here. Yeah, it's +1 there. Tread's ambitious. We just got to take bumps. But it's unfolding. It's not a bad card for us either, actually. We're going to take that as well. Just getting that faction access, cheap as it is, it's got to be done. Overthrow and Steersman both out in the row here, which is... what an insane row. Interstellar, Overthrow, and Steersman. Probably like the 3 best cards in the game. It's pretty wild. So... but we're just here for the money. So no one takes it. They get 4 Solari and a troop each. That money's good for us. It gives us access to like High Council. We've got to make sure we keep ourselves decent with money at the moment. Best thing for it. That's our hand, eh? Trade dispute is up. This is one of the absolutely stupid conflicts. I'm not sure trade dispute should exist in this game. I'm gonna be that far. I think it's absolutely insane with the way worms are. It's absolutely wild. I have a problem with this conflict, but oh well. So we've just got to accumulate here at the moment. There is a world. Would I ever do that? I don't know. We'll see what Fade does first here. Fade's deck is a little weird, so... see what he does. We're about to pick up some spice from obviously these mining spots. So I think we're going to use buy access to get in front of Siege and ambush Fade Ralpha here, because he's given up hooks and we're going to punish him for that. I don't want to use the ring right now, because obviously I need to kind of keep it there, but we're going to do that. We're going to ambush this and we're going to punish him here. So we're going to take a bump there, because we don't have access to there currently. That gives us our Siege access, and we're just going to ambush that. We're going to punish him. So I'm moving the camera about here a little bit. We could even use leadership to like infiltrate Haga Basin to put a worm in, and then use our ring to put it back. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool little move. Again, that's the thing. Like, this Signet Ring is so cool, and it's so effective. You can... it's the balance about being creative. It's about, like, thinking outside the box and letting you do things that other people can't do. But yeah, that was definite greed by Fade there. Going for the water there. Just immediately pounce on that. And now we could go Haga Basin, infiltrate, and that's the thing. We've got to try and make sure we keep that spy there at all times. So that's the only problem. And that is obviously a danger we have to be careful of. We might, well, if I use the spy there, I might well lose it. So that's the only issue we have. Someone's going Hager Basin before us all day, so I'm not even worried about that. Green's just trying to work out if they have to go Hager Basin now. The answer is they almost certainly do. Gurney can't get his Sword Master, but he's in no rush to go there. But obviously, I've got spies on both spots. They don't really want to be giving me spice right now. But they've kind of got a little choice, so... Should be noted officially, we do have a pairing for this conflict, but I don't think that's really relevant here. So, we'll see how this plays out. We've got a couple of half-decent moves. Hager Basin, Imperial Basin's also just sitting there, some spice, so... You know, it's just about keeping our options open here. A couple of different ways this can go down. I think either are fine. Maybe even occasionally just going, like, to Fremkit again. Or even going Desert Tactics, trashing a dagger, you know? Like, we've got a variety of options here. I think Irulan's hand is, She wants Overthrow. / Steersman. That's why she's doing this. She's giving up Hager Basin to do this. She wants these cards too badly. I mean, it makes sense. Like, you get those cards, you just win games. And she's, like, not really trying to actually win this, which is pretty obvious. She's trying to get second place, basically. So there's our spice. Should be noted, we don't get the spice for the... That's not coded in to get the spice for that. So we just have to do that manually. And he's just going to start probably hitting shipping a lot here, I suspect. We'll see what happens. So he's going to pull that. So yeah, I think we go Hager Basin. I think we go Hager Basin, and we actually... I think maybe we do it with our... what do we want to do here? I guess we're going to do it. I don't want to pull the Hager Basin spot. We can move Deep Desert in a bit. But I think we have to just worm this. I think it's too important to worm. We also get an extra card as well for doing it as well. I think we just gotta do this. Try and find a better card here. So we'll get the worm in, get the draw. But we're not taking that spy anyway. We're gonna leave that there. Just try and pick up 2 water here is the plan. So Irulan's obviously going for Overthrow / Steersman. She'll go for Overthrow first, I imagine. I think I'd probably go Overthrow first anyway. Yep. Pretty standard. The only question is, what am I doing with the Signet Ring? That's the only thing I've got to determine. Well, moving it from Deep Desert to go, like, to an Emperor's space and just get the... We don't have the money, of course. I could go Refinery and, like, take away from Emperor to put it back. That seems kind of silly. We'll clear out Deep Desert. We'll probably just go to, like, the Council one and just pick up some money. Probably go Imperial Basin to do it. Doesn't sound too bad. Gives us 4 persuasion. Gets us ready for espionage next round. We just got to deck cycle a bit as well. We've got to bear in mind. So it looks fine to me. An Imperial Basin, I think, is worth getting involved in. There are people with not a lot of water right now. So, and again, these discards, I don't really care. So it's not a big deal. Fade's gotta put in troops here, surely. So, yeah, Imperial Basin, pick up the spies, put the spy from Deep Desert up there. Looks fine to me. Is there any world where it's worth putting the spy on the Fremen? I'd have to go spice farm to do that, and I don't really want to do that, so I think that's fine. Let's grab the spice. That's what you gotta do as well. Just shift about your spies. You know, the Haggabisa one, you probably have to just sit there, but feel free to shift around spies deep desert. Even occasionally, like, putting spies on Imperial Basin can net you a surprising amount of spies. Like, if there's a Lady Jessica in the game, that could be really strong. You get loads of goods for that. Loads and loads of goods. So we'll see how things play out here. We're going to get 2 order and 2 troops from this, which is fine. The trash would have been nice, but it's not a big deal. We're basically in this for water. That's all we're really in for this, just to get our water and recycle that, so... The one thing we just got to work out is how we actually intend to, like, get our friendships. We don't have Emperor access, and that is a problem. We do not have Emperor access. Okay, I guess. Oh, well. Whatever, I suppose. So next round, we'll go deliver supplies. We've got to get the bump. We can cycle out the dagger, because it's not doing much for us. Eva's Bennis spot is fine, and then we'll just play out from there. But, oh well. We won't ever score anything from this anyway, so it's not a big deal. I think we had to put the worm in, just to threaten. So be it. I think we can definitely consider going for Tread. Tread, I think, is actually definitely doable. Tread's fine. So we'll just grab that. And I think that's actually playable here. So the passive, there's a lot going on. So we have no Diplo. Whenever another player goes to a maker spot, which our spy is on, we get a spice out of that. So we got a spice from Deep Desert from Yellow, for example. So we got a spice for that. If anyone else goes Hagar Basin currently, we get a spice from it. The idea being with Staban is you put a spy there and you just leave it there for the rest of the game. Because everyone is just putting in tons of this stuff. And what you end up doing is you just basically use that to accumulate your spice on the side. So they're busy putting in worms fighting, but you get something out of that. That's the general idea of what you're looking to basically do here. And that's totally fine. The ring obviously has lots of things it's doing. You can go to council to get the money. Going to putting a spy in a faction space, the intrigue's pretty good. The problem is you don't always see a lot of that. That's the only downside you do see on occasion. So, you know, that's all well and good. But hey, but yeah, we'll go deliver supplies first if we draw it, assumably. Which I assume we will, and then we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll just play as it are. But it's, you know, we're not in a great spot here. It just kind of is what it is, so, but hey. I think putting the worm is fine. If they all go in, they all go in. Like, whatever. It's not a big deal. So yeah, we'll just deliver supplies. Because espionage is fine, secrets is fine. I'd rather have the spice on hand at the moment. What we need to do is try and find a way to shipping. That'd be great for us, but it doesn't look very likely, so... so we're just kind of chilling here and waiting. You know, just vibing. And whatever else. So whatever, basically, we're just chilling. Well, it's by maker spaces. That's what it means by maker. So, you know, maker's referring to those, so it doesn't count for like this spot. That's the only one that it is referring to. So it has to designate maker, which is anything that accumulates spice that you then go harvesting later on in the game. That's how it works basically. So. So, just gotta wait. But yeah, the spy up here is a little tricky. Like, we have the spy there, but it's not... We don't actually have any way of getting there currently. So, assuming we pull it, which we do... Oh, we do actually, I lie. So, let's go here and get rid of that. Cool. So, Rhetoric can get us up there. I forgot I had Rhetoric. And then we got Benny. So, we're going to get hold of some faction stuff, which is decent. Now, it is worth noting with Rhetoric, you don't actually have to trash to get hold of the thing, which is definitely worth noting. We obviously have spies all over the place, so... Basin's next, so the wall's up currently. There are no intrigues out, so the only way the wall's going down is if someone goes siege. And I don't think anyone's going to siege to blow the wall here, so I think we can safely say that no one's worming this, which is good. This is a ridiculous combat for worms. He's getting his hooks, he's never blowing it, so that's fine. I kind of want to spend the spy up first, though. But the problem is, it means I'm drawing. It's kind of a weird spot. Again, our deck is not great, but it just is what it is. Do I go Sardaukar here? I like going Sardaukar. Let's do that. We'll draw. Want a garrison up here. That's a nice find. Got to make a decision very quickly what I want to do with this. I got the bump as well from that. So it's either going Bene Gesserit or I go spacing with it. I think it's likely I find the spacing bump somewhere, so we'll take it with the Bene Gesserit. Get rid of that. Maybe I don't even play this. Maybe I just reveal it here. Imperial Basin's an interesting conflict. We have potential for some swords here. Could do some interesting stuff. This is where people need to pull their spies first. That's the only thing that I think that needs to be addressed in this mod. It's very easy for people to go to like a card drawing space where they're intending to use their spy. And they should really pull the spy before doing it. It's a little... I don't know how you best designate that with a mod. I'm really unsure. Because the problem is, like, technically you've got to denote, like, you're going to espionage before, like, or switch... Because if you're going here, you put this right, you could be going to either of them, and that's the only problem. So, obviously, if you're talking in a voice chat, then that shouldn't be a problem, but obviously that's not a thing. So... I don't know what to do here. It's a little tricky. Like, Secrets is fine. Also, just revealing Benny Operative here is also okay. And I think I might just reveal. I'm also curious to see what's going to happen here. That's a very aggressive move at Desert Tactics. That is hyper aggressive. What the hell? Well, yeah, you could, but the problem is that it's like, you have to code it into the mod for it to recognize that that's there. That's the only thing. I think we go Imperial Basin. The spice is useful, and I don't want to play Benny Initiate here, so we'll just pick up the spice and put a couple of troops in and call it a day. Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's more... I don't know, I mean, maybe it could be done. I don't know. I don't know what the limitations of TTS's coding is. I honestly don't know. If it could be done later, then maybe that could be cool, I guess. But we'll see. So we've got a couple of decent cards that we could pick up here. And not I'm after. If we don't get it, then there's a pretty decent alternative, actually, for us. Actually, a very good alternative. Only chucks away the steel suits, which is notable. If he's putting in one, he's got to put in all, surely. Putting in one seems ridiculous. Yeah. He's got to commit everything if he wants to go in here. He can't. Yeah. So that's that alliance taken. Public spectacle is so absurd. Well, we're taking it. Sorry, hold on. Pass it back round, please. So we're going to take it ourselves. Get the other one. Cool. It's a very good card for us. We have our 2 spies at the Council and Haga Basin, so we are able to buy it. Overthrow for Irulan. It's pretty good. Yeah, Fade. Fade had to do it, but yeah, bit of a shame for him. Gurney had 8, so he was going for Overthrow and missed it. So Irulan's got Overthrow and Steersman, so I would say Irulan's probably fair to win this. And yeah, we are going for this. We are going to play question. The only question is, where do I down bump? Emperor's dangerous, but I could probably pick it back up with Spectacles. I think... How often am I using Imperial Privilege here? Not very often, I don't think, right now. So... Get rid. Because we need the battle pair. And this pairs us, so we have to go for it. So green will pass, and we take it down, which is good. The spice is good, Imperial Basin's good, so we're counting a lot of good stuff here. And we get the battle pair, which is cool. Cool beans. Shut those in there. Alright. So, next up is Chome Security. So, here come the worms. That'll be immediate. Yep. Chome Security also, by the way, I have a problem with this conflict as well. This conflict is absurd. For anything that's worms, it's absolutely a crazy, crazy conflict. It's stupid as well, I think, because, like, worm people probably don't even want to win this. Which doesn't seem like good design. We get a spice for Haga Basin, so we'll take that. What have we got to draw still? Leadership and something. Leadership and something I've bought. I have no idea what other card I bought is. Haven't a clue. Who's got daggers? Green and blue both have daggers. Okay. where do we want to go here? What is our best opening move? I have no idea. I think we've got to get some intrigues going. I feel like putting the spy back up on Emperor is probably good for us. Just so I can get the intrigue. Maybe we go... this is tough. I could go spy. I could actually go refinery to go Imperial privilege. If I don't like it. It's just a denotion. Just to say I've got that pair so it's not pulling up the board. That's all that really is doing. But it could be a bit of a better system, I'm not going to lie. So, Spice Refinery to go Imperial Privilege is most definitely an option. I think we got to get some intrigues. There just aren't any out there. Spice Refinery gets us it. Also gives us potential High Council options as well, actually. Yeah, I don't hate this move. We'll pay the spice for it. It's just good for us. Ooh, that's pretty strong. That's pretty good. When I said Imperial Privilege, I don't have the access, but now I do. Wow, that's very good. I don't see the reason to put any troops in right now. We can just chill and wait. Blue and green are going to go absolutely ham here. Doesn't feel too great going Imperial Privilege when you don't have the intrigue, but I might do it here anyways. Gives us 2 card draws, and I would like the cards that are in hand. It also stalls out a bit here, because I am interested in picking up some of this. It puts people in some kind of weird spots. So I think we just do it. I'm basically just paying 3 spice for the bump, which is not ideal. That's a lie. I could actually debump Fremen and use that to push Bene Gesserit. Yeah, I like that actual move. Let's do that. So we're going to bump down for that, and we'll take that bump. I just feel like yellow's going there. Feels like yellow might go there a lot. Also, green occasionally goes there, but with like an intrigue or something. I just feel like it's just I want to stall out here and just kind of chill and wait. Yeah, steersman. To kind of see how this plays out. He's going for spice. It was. We have 9 persuasion. Do we just buy Spice Must Flow here? She's going all in for Sardaukar at this point, so... Arakeen's probably okay here. We could also go Fremkit. Fremkit's a bit harder, though. I think Arakeen is a reasonable move here. Also, we're getting, like, a lot of swords. Tread and Leadership play off each other really nicely here. So I think it's Arakeen. We'll see what we draw here. Every card is good. Even the dagger's not terrible here. Space-time folding. Ah. It's not the best card I could have pulled. It's alright. I might gamble in a moment. Put in 2. We've got some options. We have a variety of options here. Yeah, she has to put in more. This was obvious. This was always happening. This is why I wasn't worried about trying to fight for this. So we have an interesting spot of what to do. We could go Fremkit for the bump and try to draw and pick up our Spice Must Flow. Because the Imperium row is obviously very cheap. There's not a lot going on here. So it's kind of like Spice Must Flow or not. So it might be better off just to buy the Spice. We're also going to tie with blue. This is awkward. I don't know what's the right move here. Fremkit's a guaranteed... Oh, sorry, my voice went there completely. Fremkit's a guaranteed point. Spy Network's turned up, which is... If we go Fremkit, I think there's only one card that gets us the Spice and so, and that's Benny Operative. So... And obviously, if we pull Public Spectacle, that's pretty bad. We need that to get up to the Emperor. So it's kind of a weird spot. Or to get hold of the Benny Alliance. I think maybe just buy the point. Also, Burn the Spice Must Flow is something I can get rid of with Space Time, potentially, in the future. We do still need to use that eventually. So I think we just reveal. Just buy the Spice here. There's nothing great in the row. If I miss and get to like 7 or 8, I'm kind of stuck. So I think we just reveal and call it a day. Let me just take the Spice and call it that. It's not ideal. It is what it is. Intrigue and the troop have to do. Now that's not a bad card for us, potentially. It's not a bad card for us, potentially. Should have put in more people. A little bit unlucky we didn't get second place. I suppose I could have put in the third troop at Arakeen, but yeah. Whatever. So, yeah, this is all weird for us now with our hand as it is. So Arakeen it is, which is empty. Wall's gone, obviously. Blue was looking just to barrel a million worms in. It is, this is the one with the 2 spies to reveal, so... Can't double score off that, so it's if you're fighting as a worm, this isn't ideal. Yeah, this is going to happen. There's just going to be a bum rush this. So we have kind of decisions to make. Yeah, Game's just going to just spam spies. That's what you do. Unfortunately, that's what you do with this. You just spam espionage with this. That's what you ever really do. It's not very interesting, but... Shrug. But yeah, we have a... It's a weird hand for us right now. I guess I could do that. I don't hate that move, actually. It means I wouldn't necessarily... I could trash this. Shaman's Favor is kind of interesting, but kind of not. So... I think we have to go secrets. It's 2 intrigues. It gets us in front of the alliance. Like, that can't be bad. We have to get in front here. It feels kind of mandatory. Public spectacle, we can work out what we want to do with that. We've got a couple options. That probably just goes to Emperor. Problem is getting our friendship points. Like, is a little bit treacherous now. And I can't guarantee that this is going to work out too well. Reach Agreement and Shadow Alliance. That's potentially really good for us, actually. Reach Agreement's interesting. So I've got to work out where I want to put this. Actually, I think we put it here. And we actually public spectacle, like, Desert Tactics or something. And that gets us our bumps. Gets us our 2 friendships. The only issue is we are going to be drawing, so I'm not going to see public spectacle. That is obviously not ideal, but... Just got to play this as we see it here. We just need to not be greedy with alliances. We got to know that Bene Gesserit... Well, it's kind of weird. Like, we kind of can, though, because now we've got Shadow Alliance. If we were to lose the Bene Gesserit, it's not a disaster. So we could... I don't know. It's a really weird one. Like, I was expecting to just go, like, dutiful. But, like, we could definitely go Desert Tactics. Depends how brave I want to be here. We're at 6 points. We can't end the game, obviously. There's also, you know, there is also, like, a conflict ongoing here, but the problem is, like, there's, like, a lot of firepower being thrown out. Reach Agreement is interesting. I think we should probably keep our water for now. I don't know. If we're gonna go worming, we have to go worming now. The problem is, though, it's, like... It's really hard for us to get involved. The issue we've also got, if we go Haggar Basin, and, like, if we don't Haggar Basin and Elon just Haggar Basin's just limps a worm in, it's a disaster. Is she Highline or is she going Sardaukar is the question. It's tough, this. I could be really brave and go Emperor, but then how am I actually taking the Emperor Alliance here? Very difficult. I could also just infiltrate Haggar Basin myself. Like, I don't have to get involved right now. I think Spectacle's fine. To Desert Tactics, trash a dagger. The question is how. I mean, yeah, just going. No, it doesn't make any sense. I gotta take the. I also gotta just give myself shipping access as well. So, we'll. I guess I have to draw first, don't I? Because of the spy. I mean, I'd rather have that than otherwise. But then it's like, is trashing actually helping me here? Yeah, I guess we'll keep the dagger. Now that's interesting. Deliver supplies instead. I also just realized I have no water now, so I can't actually go Hager Basin. I didn't think of that. Should have just gone Frem Kit. Oh well. But yeah, Frem Kit was a better move. There goes the water intrigue. So we know that green doesn't have that. Sorry, I'm not 100%. I've put myself in a bit of a weird spot actually here. Yeah, I should have gone Frem Kit. That was a bit of an error. Irulan's just going Hager Basin here. So now I have to jam in troops, and it's a little sad. Yeah, this is difficult. Like, it looks good that we've got 8 points, but we have to get, like, another... We have to get the Emperor Alliance to have any chance of winning this game. I guess we just go Imperial Basin then, right? I think we have to put them in. Do I use Shaddam's favor, or do I keep hold of that? I think we keep hold of it. I might end up trashing that. But we have to go in at Imperial Basin now. I've kind of given myself no option. It's a bit of a silly error. It also gives me potential highlining as well. Next round. But if, like, it goes to hell and, like, Gurney goes over the top of us, we have reached agreement and I can at least save some troops next round. And try to make this work. So it's a bit difficult for us, this. Actually, it's not that bad. If someone goes Hager Basin, we've got the spice from here. So actually, we're not in that bad a spot here. So she's gonna go Arakeen, Sardukar, and then we'll see. Now that's interesting. So here comes his high line. So this is all going in. Obviously. Blue's got all 3 spies down? It does, yeah. Yeah, I don't think Gurney knows what he wants to do here. He should just go Fremen. Seems the logical place to put it. Yeah, the problem is he doesn't know if he's going to win this or not. And it's like, if he knows he's not going to win, he can be a bit more expansive. He's getting resources. But I think he has to play this hoping and expecting him to win. So, I think Fremen's got to be correct here. So, we'll see how this plays out. We're probably going to be able to save a couple of troops. I don't know what I'm going to do with Reach. That helps. That is this intrigue is basically have a free bump. It really is. So yellow's going to force a tie, or does he not bother? Yellow is going to force a tie. Wow. That's kind of crazy. So... Yellow is going to force... Blue's going to try and force the tide. Seems pretty forlorn. But, I mean, if Gurney doesn't have a sword, it's pretty funny. Oh, he didn't! Ah! He has no sword! Oh my god. It's a tie! It's a tie at Arakeen. That is mental. And there goes that alliance. Wow. I think green is now just favourite to win this game. That tie is absolutely insane. That is wild. It's good for me, but it's better for green. Green should probably just win this game at this point. Unless someone plays spoiler. Green is massive favourite. So that's insane. Well, we get to retreat some troops, so that's great. We'll pick up refinery, I guess. Doesn't really matter. So we are reliant on finding... We have to find the Highline hit and hope that we win this game from there. It's very hard to, but that's all we can do here. Hope we find space-time folding. We do find space-time folding. Now, bear in mind, leadership gains strength for all daggers around here, so we have very important decisions to make. We can use Shaddam's favor to get in more troops. Wow, what a moment this is. We have to highline. But what do I cycle out? It's kind of weird. Leadership gets... So, dagger's effectively worth 2. It's Spice Refinery, which is... So that's money. How do we win this? It's very hard to actually win it here is the problem. But my Signet Ring could do me good stuff here. So I think we just get rid of the dagger, I guess. Yeah, I guess we just get rid of the dagger. Oh. Oh, well. If you can go there, then I would go there. Totally missed it was blue first. But I don't see any of them move for us. And if blue could get there, blue could get there. It's not going to make any difference to blue whether he knows I'm going highline or not. It's not relevant. But we have to highline. We have no choice here. That's what he sells himself. So we get a spice for that as well. So we're still accumulating, which is really nice. The great thing is that in theory, we'd have to go to Spice Refinery in order to get the money. But because our Signet Ring, we can just put a spy up in the council area and get our money that way. I think we punch Shaddam's favor in. So let's get rid of the dagger. We have to hold on to that. Shaddam's favor I might end up getting rid of. We'll see what happens. I'd say it's very hard for us to win this. We can try. But it's very hard for us to actually go over the line because that yellow's just... Green's just going to chuck in here. We have to almost like try and block whatever deployment space you can. She's going deep desert, obviously. So, like, I don't think this is winnable. All we can do is do our best. Everyone's just going to go in here and just chuck in everything they've got, so... Maybe we go for, what do we want to do here? If we know we're not going to win it, which we're not, like green's just going to just go over the top of us. We have no backup, so I think we actually probably give up the fight here. Try and get second place. We've done what we can here. I think we go Imperial Privilege and we try and give ourselves some chances here. I also need to draw more cards. I've got to try and find, like, leadership. Oh, we got leadership. Not leadership. We can get rid of the Haggard base. The Haggard base Spy is obviously not doing anything for us anyways at this point, so I've got to... I think Imperial Privilege is fine. I don't think we're ever winning this conflict, truth be told. I think green's just got this in the bag. The problem is, how do I score points otherwise? This is the issue. We got Public Spectacle coming, right? No, it's in there. What have I got to draw? I have no idea. I don't even know what I've drawn. I've gone through all sorts of stuff. I don't know what's in my hand. Recon. And, like, I think my other convincing's in there. Because I didn't trash it, did I? No. Yeah, I think this looks pretty cooked. I think green just wins here. I don't think I can stop green. But Refining also gives us water, which gives us potential to get worms in. Eh. Yeah, sure. You know what? I'm actually going to do this, and we're going to put the spy down on Deep Desert. We'll just take the, that. We'll spy up Deep Desert. I'd rather keep the spies, because that gives me potential to go shipping in a pinch. So at least I can pick up a spice off her for doing this. Which is nice. But I green will win this game. I don't think green can be stopped anymore. So it's pretty much a fight for second. That's fine. It is what it is. So, you know, that's fine. The only question is there any way for me to actually do much here? Probably not. Nah, there's not much else for us to do here. Green, I just think just wins here. I don't think green can be stopped. So, just play what we can. He only gives up on the 4 swords, by the way. So... So, Haga Basin, you should put in 5 strength. Yeah, I don't think green can be stopped. I don't think green can be stopped, so I can't stop you, really. So, GG, I guess. We'll chuck it in and do what we can, but there's not much to be done at this point. We draw a card. That's not helping us. So yeah. I think we played alright. I'm fairly happy with our game. I don't think like losing Coat was a disaster. You know, we got our friendships and our alliance. It's all you can really hope for. I mean, the Spiceman's flow by was fine. We got our battle pair. We just don't have the firepower to win here, unfortunately. It's a shame. That was my recon, so... yeah, of course I lose the spy. But it's not relevant, but you are correct. I do lose the spy. So, yeah. Green wins. Green's got battle intrigues, so it's all fine. Yeah, I don't think we could have done much more this game. I'm pretty... Did what we could. There's a difficult spot for us. You know, so, alas. Just couldn't quite... I don't know, just kind of lost it a little bit in the middle. I don't think we pulled great intrigues either. Like, obviously, we pulled... We bought by access. That was huge for us. And contingency was nice, although we didn't have to do it. It just gave us a little bit of an extra edge here. So, you know, it's all well and good. Buy a load of cards. It doesn't really matter. So, she has battle intrigues, I'm sure. So, the game's ending one way or the other, because I don't know. Sometimes maybe we fluke it, but I imagine green just wins here. Looks pretty likely. So yeah, assuming that's the case, you know, thanks for kids coming along. I'd say the mod's been good. You know, that's what the main point of today was, to give the mod a spin. I think now it's got the hands down here, I think that's what's more important. That's good. They were at the side, and being honest, I didn't want to stream when they were on the side, because it was like that for the 6-player mod, but this is far superior having this down here. It's much better, so that's good. You know, you've got like your all your bits and pieces. This is a little weird, truth be told, but you know, I guess it's a thing. Yeah, you know, I think it's not too bad. So there's a bit of extra space here, which, I mean, you do have. I don't know that you really need all this space. I guess you could like put like these down here. I guess once in the blue moon, like your these, and like stack them there. Maybe it's not a terrible option. You could put them up here. Depends what's going on. I mean, that's fine. So you know, however you wanna see it. So it's not. There's a button for that. There should be a button for it. Well, just give yourself +3 strength, and we'll remember you've got a worm. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, so I knew it didn't matter, so. So yeah, I think we've done. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. We've played pretty good, so. Yeah. So thanks for watching, everyone. Take care of yourselves. And yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing. So yeah, take care of yourselves, everyone. We'll catch you all soon. If you care about who wins this, I'll leave it open for you.